let's get to the point. After this crappy kind of job I was in, I sat down and I was in a really bad place. And epiphany, like, this voice came into my head. The Man Who Chased Joggers. That was it. It was a title. And for the next 2 years, 7 months, I engaged on and off on writing my debut novel of the same name. And it encompasses lots of experience from the corporate world, the celebrity world, the broadcasting world, product placement, relationships, buddy-buddy relationships, unrequited love, broken marriages, all that stuff. And don't judge the book by the cover. Now, there's a reason there's a very pert female ass on the front of that cover. I was trying to sex it up when thought I was going to start marketing it. I literally did the book, kind of forgot about it, tried to market it, forgot about it. It was too much like hard work, and got into the voiceover. So please, females, don't be offended. I'll get round to changing the cover, okay? But actually, stay with the story if you like it, because the females are certainly, I think, the stronger characters in that book. So, here's a little badly produced promo, and then we'll go into the intro and the first 4 chapters of The Man Who Chased Joggers. I hope you like it. All my details are below. You can email me or check out my website and all that stuff. And I hope you stay with me. Someone's at the front door. Time's up. Poetry book as well. I've also done, as well as a child's book. On audiobook as well, called Charlie Butterstains and the World's Richest Man. And that also had something to do with my corporate background, particularly where the world's richest man was concerned. Look, here it is. I hope you like it. Take care, because I care. Hello, I'm Jerry Robertson, a one-time high-flyer London stockbroker. Through my own stupidity and megalomania, I've lost my wife and 2 precious daughters to a German bollocks called Max, who is an uber-successful entrepreneur. In short, I want my wife and girls back, and I ain't gonna worry, because the shiny, happy TV stars called Paxman, Letterman, Lorraine and Ellen are all gonna help sling lil old me into celebrity land. Well, that's the plan, and it's all gonna happen because I'll reinvent myself as the new guru of jogging, joggers, and introduce my new sport called Jogger Fanciers. Oh, there's an Oprah in the story too, but she happens to be a wee Scottish romantic interest of mine. Her ass looks amazing in lycra, and if yours does too, go straight to Amazon using the link below this video and buy my new debut novel, The Man Who Chased Joggers. Read it on Kindle. I'm having a nervous breakdown, and you're all invited. The Man Who Chased Joggers, out now on Kindle Amazon. Click the link and jog on. The Man Who Chased Joggers. Prologue, pro-jog. I went for a Chinese last night. Bad move. He turned around and threw the immaculate conception of a kung fu kick. Its precision nearly had my nose off. Nose is an appropriate word. I've a nose for joggers. I can smell lycra a mile away. Can't explain it really. Ever been to the edge of a cliff and on some primeval vertigo impulse have the urge to jump off? That's how I feel about joggers. Now, I'm straight, and yet the spontaneous pursuits are unisex. Weird. I've a compulsion to pursue health and fitness fanatics. True, a yummy milfy mummy's arse in tight black lycra is to my mind a veritable objet d'art. But here's the thing. If ex-SAS hardman Andy McNabb dashed by me in a pair of off-white 70s drill shorts, well, I'd still give chase. And as with Jackie Chan recently, if a well-justified hiding were meted out, so be it. At least I'd inhale sweet jogger sweat as Andy put the just do it in. Whoa, stop the press, baby. I might be onto something here. Perhaps my being craves the heat of, wait for it, fresh companionship or lifestyle. Maybe the jogger stroke joggee has an exciting life. Forget lifestyles of the rich and famous. What about lifestyles of Marie or Seamus? There's a thought. Subliminally, I lust after their lifestyle. Where will this ponytail bobbing siren lead me? Jail if I'm not careful. Or this aging jog-waddling Dolph Lundgren lookalike take me. Possibly down an alley to some dingy pool hall where I'll be sodomized with cues. Gaddafi style as, "Honky-tonk woman," blares through marijuana haze while a dude called Floyd films it in HD in an attempt to become a YouTube partner. Sincerely though, drop the stalker suspicion. Please understand, I never stake out these alluring joggers. The way I see it, they come to me, almost daring me to follow. I could be in my business suit, the mobile to one ear, and a Subway with jalapenos and salami dangling mid-mastication. And, oh my God, look at those jiggle-swaying sports bra inhabitants waving every which way. Microsoft's slogan is, "Where do you want to go today?" And mine is, "Follow that gym bunny." Chapter 1. Hot Chocolate, So You Win Again, 1977. IKEA, or is it IKEA? Anyway, we are in the land of IKEA. Ashamed of its Viking pillaging past, Sweden has made amends. "We can no longer have your cattle, women folk or monks' heads on spikes, so here, have these child-friendly cushions and bathroom mirrors." Sterile, practical, and Swedish. And safe. Dino and I worship IKEA. Dino is my roommate. He works for an outfit who rent DVDs online. I am job-seeking, which is a euphemism for unemployed. IKEA provides us with hope that even deadbeats can afford items. Pour the gravy all over me balls. This is Dino attempting to amuse the mousy catering assistant. She ignores him. "How many balls have I?" 15, she replies. "No wonder I'm walking funny," quips Dino, grabbing his Swedish meatballs. We sit down and tuck in. "That's funny." "What is?" "Listen," says Dino. "Oh yeah, I get it. ABBA, background music in a Swedish store. Hilarious irony," my friend persists. "Name that track, dude." "The Name of the Game," from 1978. I snap back. "Still got it, Mr. Pirate DJ." "Never lost it, and drop the dude. You're from Cabra, not LA, I mutter. "Lighten up. Any news?" "Nah. Well, yeah, I've, a kind of money-making idea." Dino perks up. "Really?" "Okay, don't laugh. I'm thinking of giving creative writing classes." Tell me more, he parodies the old Grease song. "Never mind, it's just a little project I'm working on. And you? Got me a brand new babe. Oprah." "Good news indeed. Pass the salt, please." "Oprah is the one. I know what you're thinking, Jerry, but she's different. And like all the rest, she's tattooed with piercings, right? Jerry, you could eat chips from her knickers. Honestly, she is as pure as the driven snow." "Don't you mean slush?" He smirks and flicks a meatball at me. It whizzes over my shoulder. His cringed expression indicates it has hit someone. The elderly lady behind me. Luckily, the mummified raisin hasn't noticed and continues gumming her lasagna. "Jesus, you'll get us thrown out," I snigger. "Jerry, look, quick, look at the old dear." I sneak a peek. The meatball has splashed down in the brim of her sensible fedora. As she tilts her gluttonous head, it defies gravity, like a little orbiting meaty planet. We're cracking up. Time to go. Before we further explore my fixation with joggers, let me outline my circumstances. My name is Jerry Robertson. I live in an area called Donnybrook, in Dublin, Ireland. This is an upmarket address in downmarket times. Vestiges of old world comfort and charm still exist in the Georgian house I rent a room in. I share with Dino. He arrived in 2007. Mabel is our live-in landlady. She dotes on us and calls us her boys. We consider her as a motherly figure to be defended. There are a few more rooms occupied by the here today, gone tomorrow. That's it, really. Dino and I are in our late 40s. We are close friends and support each other through our messed up lives. We've bridges and baggage, but we've burnt them, for there's no progress in regret. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at will change, is our credo. Look, Oprah is visiting Monday evening, so behave, won't you? You see, this horn dog ain't me usual sort of ride. Fact is, she's virgin territory. To me, in anyways, muses Dino. I nod agreeably. 'Tis called the Oprah effect. He beams. Whatever, buddy. Anywho, I won't be in on Monday evening. I'm going jogging. You? Jogging? Yeah, me, jogging. So jam your sarcasm up your bum sideways. Ever know somebody who loved motorbikes? I mean, were obsessed not just by riding one, but passionate enough to strip it down to its components. My late Uncle Kevin had an oily obsession. I recall dark autumnal Saturday evenings, circa early 1970s, in the Dublin suburb of Clonskeagh. Auntie Eileen would be out shopping. Just as well, for Uncle Kevin had turned her kitchen table into a mechanic's wet dream. To this day, I cannot hear the theme music to Doctor Who or The Generation Game without picturing motorcycle components arranged on a red and white checkered tablecloth and recalling Uncle Kevin's words of wisdom. Put down that monkey wrench. Now, son, let's take inventory of the parts you have and the parts you need to replace or rebuild. This is how you make your requirements list. Now, be wary, young Jerry, of reusing old parts, like gaskets and bolts, that take a lot of strain and should never be reused. Ladies and gentlemen, together we'll strip down the jogging fraternity to its base components. Let us marvel at the fine art of jogging. We'll analyse joggers, male and female, demographics, geography, apparel. We, my friends, will be bloody-minded in our fanaticism. Apps, etc. must be taken into consideration too. There's a recent fusion of IT gizmos and the human physique. How exciting! What the hell are these beautiful people running from? Or to? Let's agree some basics. Should you decide to jog into this world that so fascinates me, do you remember, I'm Spartacus. Me too. I'm Spartacus. Like Spartans, once we commit to the cause of chasing joggers, we'll come home with our shields, or on our shields. In the words of George Michael, if you're gonna do it right. Let's do this thing right. Well, are we jogger watchers? Pass the flask and wipe the windscreen, Agnes. I think I've just spotted the great-titted retired civil servant. Jogger fancier? Iffy. Even the least bad-minded of folks raised an eyebrow on first hearing the term pigeon fancier. Man plus shed plus racy bird equals sex. Jogger baiter? A defo no-no. Connotations of jogger cruelty, i.e. stalking joggers outside the gym, with a bludgeon and sack. Jogger loggers. Eureka! We'll log joggers' movements, habitats, attire and behaviour. Jogger fancier. It is. Yes, jogger fanciers or us. A brief history of jogging is a must for the avid jogger fancier. It all started for me in the mid-70s. Two iconic images spring to mind. Image 1, Paul Michael Glaser of Starsky and Hutch fame. I saw a photo in a magazine. The man was out for a run. He was doing some pace, I can tell you. His canine was alongside, breaking his dog's bollocks, attempting to keep up. Hey, remember those blue running shoes and that woolly cardigan? Anywho, image number 2. On the liner notes of an ABBA album, Bjorn. Silky shorts with red piping and a blue singlet. Striding for Sweden. I accept those images are purely iconic to me, but we all have to start somewhere, and where better than the land of opportunity? America. We find ourselves stateside in 1978 when the Complete Book of Running is published. Its author and guru of the running/jogging fraternity is Jim Fixx. In 1984, he runs into a fatal bit of trouble by running, quite literally, to his death. We all read how he dropped dead of a heart attack only a short distance from his home. Why do reporters do that? You know, the short distance from his home bit. Is it to tantalize? Like, geez, he was so close, on the cusp of safety, but those last few strides did for him. He may have gotten into a fatal fix that day, but Jim fixed, nay, seared jogging into the collective mind. And how did the late Jim fix it? By making what was once the preserve of the boot camp and village idiot or eccentric sexy. Jim sexed up jogging for the masses, making himself rich in the process, and deservedly so. Google Jim Fix on running for a better insight. It's a film presented by the man himself. He's instantly likeable as he runs up to the camera in a blue tracksuit for a personal introduction. He's going to tell us about jogging, its dress code, benefits, do's and don'ts. The film is of that low-grade stock, i.e., the footage has a yellow-orangish hue. It works well because the effect on the viewer is dreamy, like Far Out Man. Cut to Jim, sitting in his study, clad in a homely white woolen sweater. Jim would have made a great Sesame Street presenter. I could imagine him feigning interest in Grover's antics or singing inanely, along with Bert and Ernie. Fix had an easy manner. One thinks, yeah, fuck it, I'm up for running. Jim has an honest enough face. I am trying to instill in you, potential jogger fancier, the importance of learning to walk before we jog. The late Jim Fix bolsters his case for running by inviting various authority experts to guest. Dr. David Costill of the Human Performance Laboratory, Indiana, makes a star appearance. More homely attire, a nice old let's have a quiet night in cardigan. Dr. Costill advises us on the benefits of running on the circulatory and respiratory system. This is all done from the safety of his armchair. It's beyond me how he knows so much. In fact, his name should be Dr. Cozy and Still, as he looks like he couldn't be bothered to walk the length of himself. I'm being facetious. Fair kudos. The guy works in a laboratory. I mean, analysing treadmill stats can't but bestow expert status. A mild undercurrent of sex permeates the film. Well-toned young female college students abound on campus. They wear short shorts and have that honey-toned Americana glow. Also featured are a balding middle-aged male couple. Their workout suggests a courtship to be consummated via an après-run sweaty wrestle by a blazing fire. The backdrops are white picket fences, the Golden Gate Bridge, Baywatch beachscapes, or snowy parks. Jim prattles on about correct footwear and why he chooses a string vest, etc. But the bottom line is, if you run, you'll feel good and get laid. The pièce de résistance is when Dr. John Pagliano shows up. It's uncomfortable viewing to see him waving a skeleton leg. To use military parlance, shock and awe. Some prior warning would have been appreciated. He's a podiatrist, hence the disembodied leg. Dr. John's moustache wouldn't be out of place in the village people. The medical man informs us it is best to land on our heels and then forward onto the balls of our feet. Did you know that if you incorporate 20 miles running into a month, you can lower the risk of heart attack by 64%? Did you know that each foot hits the ground 800 times per mile? Did you know that each foot sustains an impact equivalent to 600 pounds over a 10-mile run? These facts and more are all revealed in Jim's work. I'd like to have met Jim Fix, the father of popular running. He was a lovely man. The saddest thing is to watch him at the end of the movie. Jogging in his light blue tracksuit, he explains that for him, it boils down to running making him feel wonderful. The cheesy soundtrack fades as Jim runs to collapse, only a few hundred meters from his home. Where is it written that the accumulation of wealth grants one the entitlement to be an unctuous cunt? Dino and I are back in the apartment watching Dragon's Den. It's a type of Shark Tank gong show for wannabe entrepreneurs. Dino is livid. That bleedin' profiteroles! He's referring to Theo Paphitis, self-made tycoon, who's pulling a moue and playing to the camera. Oh, Jesus, would you look? He's standing on our toy. A big close-up conveys a distraught businesswoman, her neck flushed scarlet like a map of the old English Empire. Peter Jones smirks schadenfreude as Theo kicks Dolly's walking bubble to a pulp. The business head tries to stand her ground, but her well-rehearsed pitch is faltering. Duncan Bannatyne is waving his Rolex at the broken woman. You're wasting my time, missus. My dog could make a better toy than that. I'm out. Hey, Dino, if a bullet-headed former ice cream salesman like Duncan can make it, there's hope for us all. Scottish twat. Scotland, home of cattle shaggers, skirt-wearing men, mentally ill bagpipers and red-bearded speechmakers. You know, they say if you kiss a Scot, you'll get hair in your teeth. Oh, dearie me, I hope not, or Dino's in trouble. Dino and I turn around. He grins broadly. Jerry, allow me introduce Oprah. I'm mortified as I rise to greet her. Oprah? Wow! I'm pleased to meet you. Sorry for the rant. The banner what's-his-name riles me. Oprah proffers her hand. Delicate, long fingers belie a firm grip. That's an Edinburgh accent, am I right? Aye, 'tis, Jerry. I'm already smitten. Oprah has what I can only describe as a sunny smile. She reminds me of someone. Kittenish. Her hair is auburn shoulder length with highlights. As she sits down, I glimpse hot legs. Rod Stewart would come in his pants, tight and all as they might be. Sorry, guys, I knocked, but yous were immersed in Dragon's Den. The wee door was ajar, so I let myself on in. Her accent, soothingly seductive. Reckon she's mid-20s. Reminds me of someone. Got it. AIDS? Sure, that's old news, says Dino. No, I know who Oprah reminds me of. Oprah's grey-blue eyes twinkle. Oh, yeah? So who do I remind you of? Chicken. Oh, happy day. Endearment. You don't label someone chicken unless you like or are taunting them. Nah, she likes me all right. I steady myself for direct eye contact. Dino is making coffee with his back to us. This is crazy. We've barely met, and my internal chemistry set is brewing love. Conservatively dressed, light years from Dino's usual skanky slappers. Oprah is all autumnal colours, duns and threshes, a tight, long, dark green skirt, tan nylons, light brown cardigan, ivory blouse, jewellery minimal, expensive shoes. This lassie exudes class. Well, who do I remind you of? I snap back into the moment. Okay, Oprah, you remind this, chicken. I notice her delectable smile again. Get on with it, hollers Dino. Your girlfriend, I look into those eyes, reminds me of 80s songstress Claire Grogan, a.k.a. Gregory's girl. Who? Oh, yeah, that cute singer from Altered Images. Oprah hand steeples and leans forward, resting her chin. How perceptive. Claire Grogan is a distant cousin of Dino's girl, a.k.a. moi, Oprah Henderson. Why did she say that? Dino's girl. Is she warning me off? Or just playing on the Gregory's girl thingamy? My heart sinks. And yet, I'm elated. No way. You know Claire Grogan. She's still gorgeous. Oh, nay. We've never met. She looks at me coyly and sings Claire's 80s hit. Happy birthday, happy birthday. The voice is identical to her cousin. I'm enamoured. She had me at happy birthday, I'll blurt to friends in years to come. Grogan is Australian slang for to take a dump, as in, put some shrimps on the barbie, Sheila, while I snap off a Grogan. I cringe at Dino's vulgarity. Oprah parries. Interesting factoid, darling. Fuck it. She's calling this low-bred oik darling. But I wise up. Dino is like a brother. If Oprah wants to be with him, I'd better accept it. Funny, that realisation is quite liberating. Good luck to them. Oi, aren't you going jogging tonight? Barks Dino. I can take a hint. I smile. Dino winks, adding, We don't mind our little chicken licking being here, do we, honey bunny? Dino and Oprah snuggle up for a cosy night of TV. I make my excuses, grab my coat, and head out. I notice a BMW 3 Series parked beside Dino's battered Ford Escort. Nice one, Dino, me thinketh. Bagged yourself a beauty, with a fine set of wheels. Whoosh! Lycra! 40-ish! I'm aware of her of late, new to this area, and hot to jog. Her hair is a blonde diagonal forward bob with extreme length in front and strands stacked short in the rear. She's different. Perhaps an American working at the nearby embassy. Then again, maybe just another leafy suburb mum keeping herself in shape for the chairman of the board. Stiff. Here comes the jittery rush. I've the urge to chase her. I allow a nod of 25 feet. Luckily, I've my trainers on. Let the chase commence. She turns into Sandymount Strand. I pick up speed. Now, I need to inform you that, how shall I put it? Well, I've rather let myself go. My chest is burning. She is still in sight as I maintain my nondescript pace. Like, who is this lady? More important, why am I, a middle-aged twerp, following her? I'm sweating now, and getting that raw chaffing on my inside leg as my ever-tightening jocks cut into me. The jogger is now well ahead. There's a lot of cars parked on the seafront. It's high tide. People drive out here for an evening walk or just to sit and think, or smooch. Sun is low, the remains of the day dissolving. Sometimes film star Colin Farrell takes a stroll. U2 shot some early iconic publicity photos here. She slows down, and so does all 17 stone of me. I'm close to collapse. A rollerblader yells, "Watch out, you porky gobshite!" She carefully scans the scene. I've caught up just in time to see that perfectly toned arse leaning into a car window. I'm close enough to see the occupant is a big blinged-up Rastafarian with a pearl-toothed grin and nodding dreadlocks. Bob Marley is belting out from the stereo, "Don't let them fool ya! Oh no!" Again, my joggette looks all around. Before you can say Jamaica, she's sitting beside Ganja Man and they head off into the night. So, what was all that about? Why this compulsion to follow someone engaged in a perfectly innocent activity? Or was it? Why was she so shifty before she climbed into the reggae mobile? An affair? Or is it a drugs thing? Perhaps all of the above. And I hear you say, none of my business. I waddle back to Donnybrook, just in time to meet Oprah exiting the apartment. "Hey, Flower of Scotland, thought you were staying the night?" "Oh, did you know?" She laughs. Against the night sky, she is stillness. When she moves, she carries herself well. "Can I have a ride in the Beamer someday?" She clocks me for what is a moment, but it seems longer. Miss Henderson vrooms away, but not before she grins impishly. "Be still, my lustful heart." "Look, fucking shut it before you say anything." "Oi! Dino Valentino, don't take it out on me just because Isla St. Clair closed up shop early." "That's not all she closed up, mate. Actually, I'd find that a turn-on. Honestly, your Oprah has class. Come on, give it time. She's Scottish beautiful." "Nah, I don't know, Jerry. Me sack is bursting. Maybe I should just head out to Copperface Jack's. Even the Elephant Man would pull there." "Tut tut, has the Oprah effect worn off already?" I do, love her. It's just..." Dino trails off. But she's a challenge though, Dino, isn't she?" He smiles that old Dino smile. "Come on, an ex-army man like you. Your soldiers will take that hill yet, eh?" "Jesus, Robertson, you're a tonic. Are we doing a nocturne on the roof tonight?" This is an old routine we have. Most nights you'll find us up there, on the roof garden, drink in hand, and the moon our companion. Although you may think us uncouth, we are cultured. Nocturnes, as you know, are musical scores inspired by the night. We are not quite in the night of our lives, but it is looming, and we've ballsed up the journey so far. Some nights listening to Frédéric Chopin, others Schubert or Mozart. We also spin ourselves yarns, a childish, harmless game where we amuse ourselves by guessing as to the veracity of each tale. Yeah, I'll meet you up there. Pour me something red. I just need to take a quick shower. During tonight's nocturne, I give my friend some good news. Dino, you'll have 2 weeks all alone with your tartan tart. How come? Are you off somewhere? Anywhere but here. You take the high road with Oprah, and I'll take the low road to Tenerife. Chapter 2. Milkshake. Khalees, 2004. Yo, tell you what I want, what I really, really want. Oh, she's doing it again. Gently drags her nails across my back, then blows a suggestive kiss before flitting off with her raucous girl power cronies. I'm guessing they're all 20-something holiday reps, tanned or fake tan, young, free and single. Generally, these stealth attacks are hit and run. She says or sings something too modern for my understanding, be it about milkshakes, booty, zigga, making the beast with 2 backs, etc. Oh, and she also is going to snorkel me, whatever that means. I'm embarrassed. Her behaviour raises eyebrows and amusement amongst fellow resort guests. Sitting by the pool enjoying a cold beer a day or 2 ago, suddenly I'm tapped on the shoulder. Her Ray-Bans reflect how fat and frightened I am. Her accent is pure Yorkshire, or Yorkshire. Ooh, look at ya, a little Irishman all alone on an island of love, with the lovely Tad Pierce Brosnan bum on ya. You know, great egg, are you, honey? Do you fancy being on Tracy's Island? Do ya? I'm gnashing for some nurks or summat. Ooh, you'll soon find out what a brimmer Tracy is. I'll snorkel ya, I fucking will. Hi, you'll see Tracy's gibbon yet. The lady vanishes. She's uniformed, and I'm guessing airport-bound. A tattooed chav poolside gives a thumbs up and lucky buster, you're in there, pal. Top totty is that. Tracy, this young woman full of vavoom, who both intimidates and flatters me. I observe her high-heeled, shapely figure clack off into the reception area. Time was when Tracy would have met her match. However, I need this vacation to regain perspective on my life. I'm broken. I'm turning 50 in a few months, and I've nothing to show for it. What really frightens me is what I was good at, I am no longer interested in. I'm just not able to cut it in the financial world anymore. Moreover, my reputation in the city is in tatters. Paula found herself an alpha male who provides lavishly for her and our girls. I'm not one for taking my own life, but all too frequently I find myself contemplating it. Buckety bollocks. I've fucked things up royally. My first day here, Tenerife, gifted me something. A jogger in gold lame shorts. Let the chase begin. You can change and salvage your happiness. It may be far from easy from your vantage point of hopelessness, but trust me, you can do it. I'm into self-help gurus. Problem over the years is, I can't consistently practice what I learned from these superb motivators. Distractions get in the way, but not today. Today I'm mega psyched up. YouTube Barracuda by heart. It's a track America's most foremost motivation expert, Tony Robbins, whacked into his Sony Walkman or whatever it was in the mid-1970s. As the lead guitar pounded, so did Tony along a Californian beach. As he ran, he determined there would be major changes in his life. The wretchedness I've suffered in recent years is fermenting something within me, a something yet to be realized. A plan is forming in my head. My mess is becoming my message. From any logical standpoint, it seems ludicrous. To me, it's just ludicrous enough to work. Ludicrous enough to restore my self-esteem. Ludicrous enough to provide for Paula and the girls. Barracuda is playing on my iPod. Dum-diddy-dum, diddy-dum, diddy-dum. It loses a lot in translation. I'm wearing a white toweling headband Simon Le Bon would have been chuffed with in his heyday. Can't quite bring myself to do the short shorts thing, but I've settled on a pair of cream Bermudas. My Nikes are brand new, and in the coming months will become veterans of my international jogger fancier campaign. Joggers are so predictable. It was 3:45 p.m. or so when I first saw Lame Man from the coach. 4 days later, and here he is like clockwork. I duck into a doorway. After 30 seconds, I'm a jogger too. Hot on Lame Man's unsuspecting tail. We jog on, and I'm surprised that whatever mix of purpose and adrenaline I'm on is negating the stress on my overweight frame. Half an hour later, I'm still on the case. Where is this guy going? Whatever happens, I'm here for the long haul. Too much too soon. Exhaustion is setting in. With all my focus on Lame briefs, I'd unwittingly strayed into the indigenous part of town. It's not too dark, but feels darker. Less palm trees, a few half-starved dogs scavenge rubbish bins. There are desolate apartments, soulless abodes. I've stopped to catch my breath. I'm sweating profusely. I'm feeling a little wary as to my surroundings. Why is it at this precise moment my iPod chooses not to touch the earth by the doors? Nothing left to do but run, 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 let's run. My friend, you runs like a lion. Christ, it's Midas Man in his lame shorts. Where did he spring from? A wounded lion, he continues. Yog, he says. Yog, I is Yog. He is smiles with hard eyes. Maybe going out for a jog, or indeed Yog, might not have been such a smart decision. Yog isn't a Spanish name, is it? Best on my way. Thanks for your concern, Yog. Mi amigo, Yog is Greek name. Come with me for the refreshment on you. Refreshments on me? This isn't looking good. Perhaps he is suggesting I buy him a drink and it's on me. Ergo, I'm paying. I frantically seek an escape, but he's grasped my arm. Come, lion, come! Yog, I feel better now. Thank you so much, but I can jog to my hotel. I'm fine, honestly. Friend, I like your shoes for the running. Me, I have only stink sandals Father Calamero gave me. I weigh up whether offering him my Nikes in return for my life would be wise. Nah, fuck him. Money is money. Resistance is useless. My body language is screaming, I surrender, dear. My heart is thumping as he leads me up a side alley, every so often making what he believes is a comforting noise, but is most disconcerting. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. My young lion. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. I will be having the refreshment all over you very soon. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. What country be you of? Ireland, I bleat. Opa! Ireland nearly in big a shit with Euro as Greece, huh? We Greeks riot. Irish try to be goody-goody. They take it up the colos. No time for politics or patriotism. 3 words. I am afraid. My fear is compounded as I note some impoverished folk peering through filthy, cracked, dust-coated windows. Toothless simpletons with psychotic faces. Some jeer in Spanish at Yog, who bellows sassy retorts. The consensus appears to be that Yog has brought home the bacon. Fat Irish bacon. He shows me to a grotty taverna, the sort Columbus might have whored in before setting out for the New World. The mansion is warm at the top of the hill. Rich are the rooms and the comforts there. The doors are still doing their psychedelic thing in my earbuds. Come in, Irish, like the drinking. My lion shall rest. A clean-cut barman nods. Maybe this will be okay after all. Oye! Carlito, my Irish friend is wanting Baileys and brandy. For me, the same. It would have been nice to be asked. Fuck 'em. I've no money. Idiota. Who has these days? Oye! Irish has no money. Carlito shrugs. Yog screams a turkey, gobble gobble, and flaps imaginary wings. He combines this disturbing display with a creepy buttock shimmy. Carlito roars with laughter and does likewise. In a pathetic attempt at bonding, I too leap up and do the turkey shuffle. It's a gamble that pays off. Following an uneasy lull, Yog and Carlito burst out guffawing Greco-Spanish. Yog jovially slaps the table. "What is name?" Baileys and brandy are served. Yog raises his glass, then entwines my arm with his in a cringe-worthy toast. We drink. He whiffs of garlic and B.O. I stifle a retch as the Baileys hits my gut. Jerry? I'm Jerry." "Jerry, loving you the running, eh? My friend, you need mucho running, for you is El Gordo, the fat one." He's up again and doing the turkey special. Carlito picks up on it, and they start gobble-gobbling. I feel like turkey in the middle. When in doubt, go to the toilet. I'm praying there's a rear window. "Yog, I need to use the toilet."
"Amante, you want what?"
Yog slurs.
"Oh, Asios, of course.
Yog touches my arm and says with a serious face,
"Is it the mare or mierda you want make?"
I'm stumped.
"Jerry, mi amigo, how you say pee-pee or poo-poo?"
"Just the toilet, Yog. I mean, why do you need to know?"
"Because Irish, in this place, poo is made up the stairs, but the pee-pee must be made."
He points to the door. "Oh, it's a pee-pee." I smile.
Good, arriba, mi amigo, we shall go together."
Man, will this sleazy melodrama ever end? I consider making a break for it. I don't. Life has awkward little moments. For instance, when someone fiddles with the camera as you attempt to prolong a smile, or a stranger's leg rubs against yours in the jacuzzi. Top of my list is being unable to piss beside my fellow man at the urinal. No problem when I'm drunk or truly desperate, but when sober, I just can't do it. It's fairly common. Even rock star Bono once related on Ireland's Late Late Show how he found himself unable to, perform, so to speak. The failure to launch arose in the toilet of a Dublin pub. A fellow pisser was letting rip no problem. Dubliners are renowned for their quick wit. The guy senses Bono's discomfort, and on his way out wisecracks, "What's the matter, Bono? Stage fright?" So, there we are, in the cubicle. Too close for comfort, too close to disguise the fact that this idea was a ruse to escape. I pretend to pee. Up close, the lame shorts aren't so novel. Worse still, they have no fly front. Yog dumps them down around his sandals. This room wasn't made for congregations. He is butt naked, inches from me. He farts loudly. Wouldn't be surprised if it registers 5 on the Richter scale.
"Madre de Dio, un grande pido."
Yog sniffs proudly.
"Oler los rocos vitamins, mi amigo."
The pungent aroma wafts garlic. Cologne of the gods? I think not. I sense his hard eyes.
"Hey, why you no make pee-pee?"
It's just an age thing, Yog. Order another drink and I'll join you shortly. Yog doesn't budge.
"You know, Jerry, D.H. Lawrence wrote, thought is like water. Try to hold it back and it will find a way through. If you try really hard to dam thought back, it simply increases in pressure until it bursts through."
Can't believe it. His English was fluent. Yog rests his hand on my neck and caresses. I'm rooted to the spot. 2 things strike me. This isn't right. And don't make a fuss. Outside, Carlito bawls, the gobble gangnam style. Yog chuckles and takes up the call. "Gobble, gobble, gobble!" Sandals shuffling in his gold shorts. I seize my chance and dash for the door. I thank God for my instincts as I encounter Carlito. He's naked from the waist down and, for want of a better description, pointing in my direction. God knows what they were planning. No doubt some type of turkey sandwich with muggins filling. As I bolt from the taverna, I glance back. Yog is hot in pursuit, but he trips in his lame shorts, braining himself on the cobblestones. My Nikes are paying for themselves as I run for my life. I take the direction that had led me to this Spanish nightmare. I run, not looking back. My heart feels like it's about to explode. After 10 minutes, I need a breather. I suck in every lungful of precious air. Gobble, gobble! Yikes! Yog is about 50 feet away and wearing a horrible glazed demonic rictus grin. Gobble, gobbling, he darts his fat pink tongue Maori haka-ish. A grass incline leads to a main road and I scurry towards it.
I'm almost at the top when Yog rugby tackles. Face down, I struggle as his body weight pulverizes me. I hear him slaver. Mios Dios es poco apretado, hombre sexy Irish. The notorious "Squeal like a pig, boy" scene from the movie Deliverance flashes to mind. I ain't going to squeal for nobody, nor gobble for that matter. I flip around and smash my knee like a freight train into Yog's balls. His face contorts in agony. I scramble for safety across the road. On reaching the other side, I hear a thump. I see that Yog has been hit by a tourist rickshaw. The front of the vehicle is crumpled metal, and the driver is out screaming and gesticulating as Yog staggers dazed and confused. Blood is coming from his lame ass. Still, rather his than mine. I jog on to the security of my hotel. I'm exhilarated, despite nearly being assaulted. It's just emotion taking me over. I'm having a nervous breakdown, and you're all invited. Well, maybe that's a bit hasty, but mentally there are changes afoot, and not all bad ones either. Yoko Ono's mother instilled in her the fact that we are not here to please people, we are here to be ourselves. For years, I believed I was doing my duty by making money. But for me, it was never about money. It was always about the deal and the resulting acclaim for having done the deal. This craving for approval, honey, trapped me into business. But business has been a fair weather friend. Don't get me wrong, I've not done with business yet. I'm getting into the business of not being too serious. By not being too serious, it will become a serious business, if you get my drift. So, it's business not as usual, but on my terms. Rather than being a distraught near victim of a sexual attack, I am now standing in the power shower, feeling bloody marvellous. Fuck it! I fought back today. Recently, the worst life has to offer has been aiming both barrels at me, imploring me to open my mouth. Today, I gave it the fingers. Tonight, I'll wear my black silk shirt, 'cause it's slimming, chinos and stylish loafers. I'll strap on my gold Rolex and hit the bar, and if our Tracy shows up, she'll be given an ultimatum by Pierce Brosnan's tight little bum. I am tanned and fragrant as I slap on just enough Fahrenheit. Time to hit the hotel bar. I've planning to do. Mid-evening in the hotel foyer, and all is well. The place is big enough to be impressive, but intimate enough not to be impersonal. A massive crystal chandelier hangs over an elaborate white and black-tiled staircase. Guests are heading to dinner, some with children. Lots of starry-eyed young couples, too. The mood is pleasant. An ambiance of relaxed well-being. Stevie Wonder's "I Just Called to Say I Love You" tinkles out of a nearby grand piano. Life will get better. I am me. I am free. It's traditional that business be created on the back of a napkin. The famous Virgin logo started life on a napkin, with its upbeat V rising from left to right. Although Sir Richard Branson reflected that that might only be because the napkin was at an angle, rather than by design. And then there was Southwest Airlines. Herb Kelleher was brainstorming. He took a bar napkin and a pen, 3 dots to represent Houston, Dallas, and San Antonio. 3 arrows to show direct flights. Easy to understand. Simple, but effective. The objectives of my plan are threefold. 1. Regain my self-respect. 2. Achieve financial independence. 3. Win back Paula, Jasmine, and Rachel. Of course, 3 is the primary objective. The napkin's remaining space is being used to handle the question, how? When? Is another question, but the answer to that one is easy. ASAP. Back to how. I'm tempted to go to my room to sleep on it. Typical procrastinating old me. The core of my plan is ever present, but ludicrous. Now it's just me and the napkin. I mentally banish doubt. The plan is just wacky enough to work. Apparently, when Madonna seeks to tap into the muse, she fills the studio with scented candles. Me, I order pina coladas, aplenty. I let my weary mind find a little assistance from Mr. Colada. Together, they can brainstorm. I get creative, scribbling block capitals and underlining buzzwords, pie charting, and doing Vengrams. It's bloody good, though.
Bartender, bring me another.
To begin with, I am where I am, i.e., deprived of my family due to conflict. A conflict with Paula. Paula went to war with me because I'd lost the plot. I was an egotistical, moody sod. My success was always underpinned by insecure immaturity. I'd binge drink and disappear for days. I began to lose and owe money. Young guns showed up in Haversham fibs. Greed is good types. In reality, they represented no threat. But when you are fundamentally insecure, you waste time constantly looking over your paranoid shoulder. Both my personal and business life began to deteriorate, resulting in irreconcilable differences. Differences due to conflict. Understandably, Paula could only stand by her child, for so long. One day, Paula took the nuclear option, and there endeth our war. She took herself and our children away from me and placed him, the Berlin Wall, between us. I am where I am, and it's all on the napkin in black and white. I want my wife and children back, please. So, what I'm getting at, in essence, is I lost my family through conflict, and I'll reconcile with them via new conflict. A conflict between joggers and fanciers. It's head-wrecking, but just go with it. Here's how I see it. All has changed utterly since the mid-90s. Folks, it is a digital world. The web is the way. The money makes the world go round, and boy do I need money. So we've got digital and capitalism, at times diametrically opposed. Digital wants to share, to be open and universally freely available. Capitalism wants to sell brands, get you to subscribe and franchise things. So we've two uneasy bedfellows, but both need to survive. They need to survive the conflict. Win-win. When Napster was a thorn in the music industry's side, the threat was somewhat resolved by the iTunes model. What has this got to do with chasing joggers? Everything. Digital is big, and jogger fancying has got to be big. What's bigger than the World Wide Web? Digital, with its viral possibilities, will leverage jogger fancying. The message will go out clear. Jogger fancying is here to stay. Controversy will lead to conflict of sorts. Conflict needs resolving. Joggers and fanciers will have to get along. How? At this juncture, I haven't a fucking clue. Capitalism will come into play when I somehow monetize the monster I've created. The conflict will be resolved. I'll be minted. My wife and daughters will be reunited with Daddy. That's the plan. These days my heavy drinking is no more. I now know when to stop, most of the time. I'm buzzing. Pina colada, come on down. I sit pondering how it all went wrong and how I'll fix it. I think about returning to Dublin and rolling out the plan. I think about how money is short, as my rainy day money heads drainward. Still, I've the creative writing idea up my sleeve too. I think about Paula and look forward to seeing and hugging Jasmine and Rachel. I think of Dino and our roof garden midnight nocturnes. And I think of Oprah. Suddenly, there's a hand on mine. Ooh, you daft bugger. I told ya. I said I told ya Tracy would get a lovely Pierce Brosnan's tight little bum. Didn't I? Come here to Tracy, you little wazzock. Man, she's gorgeous. Green-eyed, tanned, fresh-faced, frizzy blonde vivacity personified. She's young, though. Yeah, you're gonna get some of our Tracy tonight. Your boat's in, lad. You'll be filling your boots. 180. It's the luck of the Irish tonight. Yeah, by gum. She's coming on like Blackpool illuminations, and I want her. But it feels all wrong. I'm too old. She's too young. My confidence has been shattered, and I'm lonely. She is youth and vitality, perched on a bar stool, in a t-shirt, with the big red lolling tongue Rolling Stones logo. My colada has me anesthetized. I'm comfortably numb rather than my usual spooked. I blearily eyeball her. Hey, scary spice. Suppose you'll dash off before I can get a word in?
You what?
Usually you run away. She leans in with a glint and a secret smile. Ooh, Tracy is a bad un, ain't she? But tonight I'm yours. Me I am. She ruffles my hair playfully. And that's Tracy, really. Playful and full of life. Ooh, you old silver fox. I'll give you summat to borrow into. I will. Tracy's gibbon. And pray tell, what's your gibbon? Me twat. I can't help but laugh out loud. She's beautifully outrageous. Yeah, so it's not just your bum that's tat then. Oh, forgive me. What are you having? I'm having you. But for now, I'll have an Incredible Hulk. Or Hulk, as she calls it. To celebrate Tracy finding her incredible hunk. You say the nicest things, Tracy, even though you filter them through sewage. What's a wassock, by the way? A bull's penis? A bull's penis is a wassock, so 'tis. She shifts in her seat and her miniskirt rides up her impressive thigh. If only I was 20 years younger. You can forget that, by the way, Irish. Forget what? Call me Jerry. You sad little face, Jerry, huh? What Tracy meant is you can forget all that. I'm too old stuff. Scary girl, you read my thoughts. Look, I find you enchanting, but I'm not right. She puts a manicured forefinger to my lips. Shush. You're hurtin', ain't you? I say nothing, but feel everything. You're hurtin' 'cause you've no missus, and maybe you've left some bairns behind you, and you're all alone, 'cause nobody but families and couples come here, eh? Look around you. It don't take Columbo, does it? Luckily, her Incredible Hulk arrives before I choke up. Jeepers, what's in that, Tracy? Blue fluorescent. And is that Hennessy? Ah, 'tis, and the blue stuff is... I dunno. Are you a rep? I work out of Manchester, but I'm here one day, Malta or Greece the next. It's mad! I say it's fucking mad, Jerry! She throws her arms out. People glare at us. She doesn't give a toss. Just shakes her blonde frizzy head, gives me a cheeky grin. Here, Jerry, I bet all them buttoned-down blurks is wondering how a scruffy Irishman has pulled out Tracy, eh? Hey up, lad. Another Hulk, please. I can't help smiling. You've barely touched the first one. Tracy nurse. But get us another, so the first one won't be lonely, like little you, Jerry. Like little you. She shares a lot of things as the evening progresses. The people she meets at work, her mother's illness, that her brother was killed in Afghanistan, the significance of her tattoo, etc. I warm to this attractive, bawdy young woman bother to spend her evening with me, Tracy. I'm 49. Hashtag yawn. Sure what, Jerry, I'm 24. The guy sitting over there's 100. It's a fucking number, Jerry. Get over it. Grin that elevator. It's Tracy's funky gibbon time. Hey, why do you keep referring to yourself in the third person? You what? I'm not shit. We've barely met and you're calling me turd. She jokes. Jerry, George Clooney is 51 and he's got every gal's Volvo going. You mean vulva? Yeah, Darren all. Come on, let's flame and vamoose. I could be all mouth and you could be now trousers. How could I refuse? I can vouch for her milkshakes. I'll leave the snorkel to your imagination. Whatever your answer, multiply it by 2. Tracy had an early flight and was gone before I awoke. She was just what I needed, i.e. reassurance that I am of any worth. Before we gave the room a good seeing to, she insisted on taking my mobile number and address. She mentioned Facebook, which I don't use. It is one of life's great ironies that kids with the personality of a snail on Valium can become kings of social networking. Or is that just me being negative? I bet the Zuckerbergs will be able to provide for their children as well as countless good causes. I can't. Of course, nothing will come of it with Tracy. Still, she was an ego boost. I wish her well. I sit on the bed. What to do? Breakfast, followed by a lounge poolside, land of embarrassing bodies, bikinis and drink. And it's a pleasant few hours. I laze and think about the plan. If things have got to change. I could do worse than start with myself. Over the years I've piled on the pounds. I've more chins than Chinatown. I've an enormous stomach, which Tracy described as, "Wahey, a bouncy castle." Its enormity is an issue, especially when trying to exit the sun lounger. I'm wary in case anyone notices, as I struggle like an upturned beetle. Nobody does. So I make a mental note getting fit and slim are a priority when I get home. That's going to cost nothing. I'll look and feel better, just like Jim Fix said. Lord rest him. Sun is going down and the pool is emptying. I make for the shower and fresh clothes. I've only 3 nights left in Tenerife. I decide to check out the entertainment. The resort features a mock-up Spanish village square, and every night there are different shows. Themes vary from Chinese acrobats to the Drifter's Night to Michael Jackson extravaganza, etc. Yippee! Tonight it's Argentine Dancing Gauchos night. Show starts in an hour's time at 9 p.m. I decide it's pina colada time. I reflect on this crazy week. My ass has never been in such demand. From the unwanted attentions of a gold-knickered philosophizing Zorba to the warm embrace of a Yorkshire lass, albeit a vicarious Pierce Brosnan shag. Yes, it's been a long overdue live the life you love the life you live episode. And it's only beginning. Bartender, bring me another. And get this, my time today at the pool was not wasted because I've come up with a name for the organisation as well as website, jog-graphy.com. Ain't that real clever? All I gotta do is get back to Dublin, where I'll test bed the plan, rope in some members, see it all gel. Yeah, baby, this time next year we'll be millionaires. I'm on my second pina colada and am lightheaded. My sight isn't great these days, particularly with small print. I return the bar menu, can't read it, and not really hungry. So, things are looking up. 15 minutes to Argentine Dancing Gauchos. I make my first mistake of the evening. I order an Incredible Hulk. It now sits majestically before me. The barman explains the blue stuff that so befuddled Tracy is hypnotique. Nope, a typo it ain't. Hypnotique is a fruity liqueur from France made of vodka and cognac, and of course fruit juice. It is an attractive clear sky blue color, so the internet now informs me, and furthermore, in order to entice male customers to drink the fruity liqueur, a bartender mixed Hypnotique with cognac. This made it a light green cocktail drink. The new cocktail drink was dubbed the Incredible Hulk drink and became an instant success with men as well as women customers. So I had me one of those mothers, actually 2, and that's when events took a turn for the pear-shaped. Here's my fuzzy recollection. I ventured into the balmy Spanish night. It was all cobblestones, starry-skied, and alfresco coffee, and beer tables, and chairs like the Van Gogh oil painting, Café Terrace at night. I sat on the side of an ornate fountain. Its tiles were mosaic and of nautical design. I recall trying to decipher what the entire mosaic represented. That's when it happened. Over a loudspeaker came the inimitable sound of a 70s classic, a one-hit wonder by Rupert Holmes, Escape, a.k.a. the Pina Colada song. I don't know what came over me. I think it was a mix of a hectic week, renewed hope for the future, the quirky novelty of drinking Pina Colada whilst listening to it, and nostalgia. In retrospect, I think I had a mini neural meltdown. A euphoria came over me, and next minute I was standing on the fountain edge, waving and singing. As always, I advise you to YouTube the song. Up will pop Rupert Holmes, circa 1979, in what I can only describe as big pants. They're not outrageous harem pants a la MC Hammer in his "You Can't Touch This" prime. No, these motherfuckers are big sensible pants, probably like Jim Fix, R.I.P., would have endorsed for all weather conditions. Rupert's hips are kinda childbearing. From the bottom of his belt to the top of his thighs is about the length and width of a microwave oven. I sang along to the lyrics, raging them at the night sky. I heard one disgruntled Irish voice raised. "Hey, Archimedes, you're making an idiot of yourself." Most tourists dug the vibe. Brits started joining in. I've always loved the Brits, whatever our past differences. The French began laughing at me,
or with me. Even the Germans were doing their beer-swilling, thigh-slapping lederhosen Teutonic thing. Some dentist's dream Yanks were beaming, and some Spanish babes were shimmying like plates of tripe. I was on a roll. If you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain. The song is about how the duties of marriage can stifle us. Partnerships which were once exciting and passionate are reduced to silence, only broken by the scrape of a spoon on a porridge bowl. We lose each other as daily drudgery devastates our libidos. Then we fantasize. Rupert lights the blue touch paper by taking out a personal ad. No, but it's not a personal ad. It's not a personal ad, is it? No, it's a manifesto for living and shagging, or as Rupert would have it, an escape plan. The end is kind of sad, though, when the wife recognizes her wash-day blues skid mark tormentor. And she said, "Oh, it's you." When we all know she's thinking, "Ah, fuck, it's you." Ditto from the would-be escapee, whose break for freedom is instantly revoked, along with his hard-on. I'm on fire! Come on, gang, I shout. Dance yourselves dizzy. It may be cheesy, but a lot better than the bollocks out today. Whoops of approval from various nationalities. I'm like a poor man's Bob Geldof, uniting folks. Hundreds of suntanned, shiny, happy people singing and connecting with me. Me, Jerry Robertson, has-been trader, useless husband, and deadbeat daddy cool, hurtling towards 50 without any significant source of income. Me, the failure, Jerry Robertson. But for those few, I never knew that you like pina coladas. Those few sublime moments of belonging and being wanted by humanity. I was someone. Together we flung fistfuls of joy at balmy Iberian stars, sprinkled out on a blue velvet night sky, knowing some joy would stick. Okay, so I was drunk, but not drop-down drunk. Animated Japanese tourists filmed my one-man show with Sony camcorders. Picture this: a Tokyo dining room in the coming decade, a HD flat screen in the corner.
Hey, Kazumi, look what I found. Remember dar Spanish holiday? Gwahaha! Look at dar crazy Irish man. Ha ha! Remember?
Ho, Akihito, he is slinging their Plinus Curlarda song.
Plus it, Kazumi, plus it. I'm pissing myself. Their sake has gone up my nose. Ha ha! What an idiot!
I leapt off the fountain and took my seat after wading through a congratulatory crowd who high-fived good-naturedly. The Argentine dancing gauchos were now on stage. The atmosphere of anticipation was electric. It's important that you know your congas from your bongos. Bongos are the drum you stick between your knees. Sometimes you'll see a demented toy monkey playing them. No prizes for guessing congas originated in Africa. Congas have long wooden bodies extending downwards from the drum heads. They produce a deeper tone than the short-ass bongos. Hey, there's a name for a band. Anywho, lights, action. Enter 6 gauchos who've spurned the Pampas in favour of the Eurozone. Big, handsome guys that make women swoon and men turn green. They've gypsy hair and olive complexions, some sporting black silk bandanas and loopy earrings, costumed in flowing dark silk shirts, with matching pantaloons, whopping black leather belts, and gleaming Cossack boots. But most of all, they've attitude. 3 of them take to hammering the shit out of their congas, which sounds painful, but is in fact spectacular. And it's none of that "I played my drum for him, pa-rum-pa-pa-pum" crap either. It's a serious "don't fuck with us" noise. Tucka-tucka-dumph-dumph. It's hypnotic, or hypnotique in my case. They're not just a one dumph pony either. They rhythmically alternate drum beats with drumstick strikes to the conga rims, and whack the drumsticks off the stage floor too. Net effect: dumph, tucka, dumph, dumph, tucka, lacka, click, lacka, click, click, interspersed with yelling and high-pitched "Hey! Hey! Hi-ya!" Oi! Dumph, tucka, hi! Clacka, click. The high-pitched shrieks are blood-curdling, and in real life are probably reserved for domestic dramas back in Argentina. Gauchos probably holler "Ay-ya!" just before slitting the throat of a llama poacher or a petrified cuckold. I yelped a few "Ay-yaws"
of my own. I'm not a show-off. I just felt so alive. The gauchos are really going at it now. Two young bucks pair off for a pretend but most realistic sword fight. Clank clank, blade flashes all round with a few ear-splitting "Hi-ya!" and "Hey-heys!"
Orange pyrotechnic flames leap up from surprise locations.
Kids close to the front recoil, fearing for their not yet developed eyebrows. It's all sporadic fiery combustions and tuck-tuck-dumph-dumph, click-click clank. The Argentine dancing gauchos are a phenomenon. Now, it's at this point I make my second and indeed fatal mistake of the evening. You see, like a lot of you, I am the guy who slumps fearfully when a comedian or magician seeks audience participation. I head for the lavatory when the "Can I have a volunteer?" malarkey starts. Gross as it may sound, the dancing gauchos now have their bolas out. Bolas, Spanish for bowl, aka boladoras, are a throwing weapon made of weights on the ends of interconnected cords. These are usually used to capture animals. The idea is you fling the cords lasso fashion at a fleeing, say, llama or cuckold. The weights wrap around the animal's leg, both tripping and trapping it. In the hands of a skilled gaucho, the bolas are a weapon to be reckoned with. Never piss a gaucho off because he'll have your eyes out as soon as look at you, thus preventing you from ever looking at anything ever again. After a brief display of swinging their bolas left, right and centre as well as through their legs and around their bandanas, it's that time for a volunteer/victim. So then, who will join the dancing gauchos on stage? The audience elect me, the pina colada clown. Sadly, due to a heady mix of Dutch courage and earlier adulation, I'm up for it. With false modesty, I point at myself with a "Who? Me?" expression. As my late mother used to say, "There's no fool like an old fool." I bound up the stage, lest I'm dissuaded. I've no excuse for my blatant exhibitionism, other than sheer euphoria. 2 weeks ago, I was at home on the dole, and pulling my bored and depressed plum to a froth. That night in Tenerife, I felt alive, but not for long. A gaucho commands me to take centre stage. Once positioned, I wink at the crowd and show off with a silly river dance jig. More fatly than flatly. Nobody laughs, and I immediately feel stupid. The gaucho isn't having it, and places a firm hand on my shoulder. My bravado evaporates, especially when I get a load of the bullwhip he's brandishing. He fixes me with a real, "Listen, gimp, don't fucking try to upstage us. You are fodder for our act. Nothing more, nothing less." Glower. He produces a cigarette and places it in my now dry, trembling lips. The thing with being depersonalized is that in that moment you are able to discover who you really are. I am a coward. Oh no, here we go. Tucka-tucka-dumph-dumph. Aye-ya! The bolas flash. Tucka-tucka-dumph-dumph. Have you ever seen a diagram of an atom? The neutron is in the center, as electrons whiz around it every which way. Or, if that's too highbrow, imagine being caught in a hail of ricocheting bullets, knowing that if you lose your mind, you lose your head. That's what standing in the center of the bolaverse feels like. Quinky-dink. These guys are from South America, and there's a map of it forming on my underpants. Zip, zip, zoom. Oh, Jesus, he's after shearing the top of the cigarette off. Tucka-tucka-dumph-dumph, zip, zip. The noise echoes in my scared, stiff head. Crack! Another piece goes to Siggy Heaven. If this keeps up, he'll have my chin off. As my eyes look down at the ever-decreasing cigarette, I spot something calamitous. The heel on the gaucho's Cossack boot is loose. It gives a whole new meaning to Sting's "every step you take." The gaucho is oblivious, shouting, "Hey! Ay-ya!" All I have to signal impending doom are my stark, terrorized eyes. Crack! Phew! More Siggy gone. Is there no end to this bloody fag? I dare not move my head, but my eyes attempt to look at the Cossack boot and gaucho's face in rapid succession, hoping he'll recognize the grave "You picked a fine time to leave me, Lucille" impending disaster. As my heart pumps, I keep fooling myself as to how professional this gaucho is, how whiplash pinpoint accuracy is his birthright. Again, I dart my eyes up and down. Tucka-tucka-dumph-dumph, zip, zip. If I run, I'm dead. Just when I reach that conclusion, I hear crock. The last thing I remember is a startled gaucho's horrified face lurching towards me, covered in what I rightly assumed was my blood. Then I blacked out. Am I dead? My eyes slowly focus on lime green tiles. There's a vague whiff of formaldehyde. It dawns on me I am in a hospital
as I barely discern the cubicle curtains, mildewed. These grey curtains add to the feeling of a cold cradling. It's a dark vacuum beyond this constricted space. It feels cold. Even the noise is cold, a cold cocooned cacophony of muffled voices. Fear riddles me. Is it what they call locked-in syndrome? The closest I've come to this living entombment is a sleep disorder I've endured most of my life. Sleep where I feel awake, but am paralyzed, as though I'm being held down in the bed. I'll be in a sort of fitful limbo conscious paralysis. It's terrifying. Sometimes I'll scream or kick out in defiance. Paula was perfect at calming me. Jerry, it's only a dream. She'd never let it disturb her own sleep and would effortlessly return to the land of Nod. I'd lie there, sweating and palpitating until a more benign slumber would shepherd me to calm, soporific pastures. This is different. I cannot move a muscle, finger or foot. The ominous noises persist. Total silence, perforated by what I take to be a foreign dialect, alternating between low and medium resonance. Am I dead? Is this death? Will they bury me in this comatose state? Screwing the lid shut to black, smothering infinity. Suddenly, a curtain is swished back. A medical worker sticks his head in. He is of Asian appearance. I cannot make out what is behind him. I've an odd sense it's a mountain of rotten food. Most alarming of all, he does not look at me. He looks beyond me and is gone in an instant. I am dead. Were I alive, he would have said something, examined me or inspected the whirring monitor. He would have looked at me. I'm seized by panic and want to shriek, but can't. Outside, people who speak in a foreign tongue, they are scavenging on that mound of putrid food and decaying flesh and body organs, and scooping insect larvae like caviar, red or black caviar, fresh or beluga sturgeon, squashed by a surgeon of indeterminate ethnicity. I am next. I am dead, and they are going to throw me on that viscous death pyre and devour me. Am I dead? Yes, I am dead. I drift into unconsciousness. I come to a day later. A pleasant world of sun and birdsong streaming through an open window greet me. I am propped up on a metal bed. There's brightness and efficiency and hope. Still, though, I cannot move. After a short time, a large, balding man walks in. He has good posture, possibly ex-military. His skin is sallow. He has an air of peaceful authority, and I see this man is a Franciscan monk. He has the brown hooded robe, rope belt and sandals. He stands beside me and speaks gently. My friend, you are heavily bandaged. Please do not try to speak. My name is Father Calamero. Calamero? Calamero? Sandals. For some fuzzy emotional reason, it resonates. You were in a freak accident. Please relax and listen to me. 2 days ago, you were involved in some entertainment that went wrong. Blink if you understand me. I blink. You were drunk and partook in a stunt with some Latin American entertainers. The penny drops. I hear echoes. Toka-toka-dumph-dumph. Ah-yeah! Although I can't move, I shudder. The doctor had to put you on some very strong drugs. It is possible you've been hallucinating these last 24 hours. Would you like to look at yourself, my friend? I blink. He leans from the cubicle and calls. Yorgos, bring me a mirror, please. Normally a doctor would speak with you. The one on duty has poor English. Yorgos comes in with a mirror. It's Yog,
My butt cheeks go all doors to automatic, clenching so tight you wouldn't be able to insert a credit card between them. He looks healthy, despite a massive bruise on the side of his face. He walks with a limp. It becomes clear why Yog doesn't react to me as Father Calamero holds up the mirror. I'm like a mummy. Apart from my eyes, my entire face is swathed in bandages. There's a brown-red substance oozing from them, possibly iodine. You were hit several times by a gaucho's balls. You received 20 stitches to the back of your cranium. Do you remember? I blink. Good news. You are going to recover and will be released tomorrow. Yog, oblivious to being in the presence of the gobble that got away, takes my pulse. He is spick and span, totally unlike the drooling, lame-leering chocolate whiz-way hunter intent on molesting me. Whoosh, 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 is all he says as my blood runs cold. Yorgos, Dr. Noyan told me you can have the rest of the week off to heal your injured anus. Yog bows obediently. Very well, Father Calamero. I will go home to take on me the cure of the anus. Many thanks for the new sandals. Yog, the jogger, exits my life. A day later, I meet a man in the airport who happened to be in the audience during my fiasco. He tells me that when the bolas hit me, it was worthy of a sniper headshot. All pink mist and gooey matter. Also, my body did an involuntary spasmic Macarena before collapsing next to the gaucho, who'd apparently fainted. The entire drama is on YouTube under Irish Headbanger and has 500,000 hits. As the Airbus reaches 35,000 feet, I think back on this madness in Tenerife. The plan, the renewed commitment to make something of myself, of Yog and Tracy, of Incredible Hulks and Bolas, and how it all nearly went so wrong when a streetcar called Cherished Belonging derailed. I survived. Celebrate! This party's over. I'm going home. Chapter 3. Dancing with the Captain. Paul Nicholas, 1976. In a previous life, the taxi driver must have been a drill, because he sure bored the whole off me, wittering on about how bankers and politicians destroyed the country, etc. My head is sore enough without listening to this unwanted stream of homespun bollocks. I breathe a sigh of relief as we arrive at the Donnybrook apartment. Within moments, I've turned the key and am home. Dino is at the kitchen table tapping his laptop. He doesn't even look up. Just mutters. Well, did you get your hola? No, but I got my bolus. I dropped my luggage. Thud. Holy Jesus, Mary and Joseph on a bicycle. What happened to your head? It's a long story. Put the kettle on. Oh, Jerry, what in the name of... Were you mugged? He paused at the bandages still lashed to my skull. Ouch! Piss off, will you? Okay, message understood. Sit down and take the weight off your face. I'll get us a coffee. Dino's bedroom door opens, and out comes a goth. Yes, a goth. Early 20s with the exception of white makeup and Doc Martens. She's murdered in black. Dirty deals done dirt cheap is written all over her wriggly spermint scum face. Crushed velvet and tights with ripped holes. Around her scrawny neck is a studded dog collar. Tom Jones has a penchant for pendants. He'd do time for the massive silver crucifix this babe has dangling. She's lugging a workman's toolkit. I'm dumbstruck. There's a pong of cheap perfume and stale sweat. She squawks out in Dublinese. Hell, Valentino, it'll be extra next bleeding time if you try that again. Right? Dino pivots with a big shit-eating grin. Of course, madam, or of course. I'm repulsed as he does a fancy hip-hop hand move. Here, wolf, remember, mortal tastes. She smirks a gobful of gum and flicks a forefinger from crotch to blackened lips, then points at Dino. Yeah, kink fest, mortal taste. Right back at ya. Oh, and if you find a pack of lillets, them's mine. Slam. She's gone.
Dino, what was that?
That was Wolf.
And if I may use your own parlance, it's a very long story. He winks. Did you and Oprah get it on, bang a gong, when I was away?
Tell us about your head.
No, tell me about Oprah. Was there jiggy jiggy? Jerry palms his world-weary handsome face.
Jerry, Oprah is still the one, but I've had to relegate her to a long-term project as sexually.
I mean, she'll stay here, but never for the night. She comes from money, you know.
So the Oprah effect is really an investment and not a project.
Nice one, Dino.
Ah, don't boil my piss. You're only in the door and you're lecturing me like a bleeding granny.
Hey, on the subject of grannies, how's our landlady? Oh, poor old Mabel ended up in hospital with stomach pains. Have you visited her? Hardly worth it. She's being discharged on Monday. Dino returns to his laptop. Dino?
Yes, Granny Robertson.
Listen, apologies for my snide remark. I'm just tetchy. My head is killing me. Dino looks up at me. What happened in Tenerife? Well, ex-Corporal Doherty. The question is, what didn't happen?
Stop being mysterious.
Did someone beat the shite out of you? Tell you what, I'm wrecked after the flight. I'm going to grab a few hours kip.
Then we'll nocturne, and all will be revealed.
Dino raises a quizzical eyebrow. Be sure to have a glass of Cabernet Sauvignon 2010 for Granny Robertson. I sashayed away. Oh, and one more thing.
What now?
He groans. I flick my finger in a line from my crotch to my lips. Mortal tastes. I hear him chuckle as I head for my room, and that's when I see her. Well, kind of. On a side table, I glimpse a recently placed photo frame. A graduation. Oprah. A study in beauty. Her hair blowing in the breeze. Standing in haloed university grounds. Fresh-faced, clear eyes full of hope for the future. And she's got that endearing drop-seat smile going on. Her slender fingers clasping her degree. A degree clasped like so many more before. Will it prove of practical or intellectual use? Will it smash a glass ceiling or serve as a wall-hanging memento to formative friendships? Degree or not degree, or to what degree will the degree of use be? That is the question. An intelligent young woman is a turn-on. I find myself straying into forbidden territory again, but this time something is niggling. With the advent of Cruella de Goth, I feel a jettisoning of my respect for Dino's relationship with Oprah. St. Andrews, 2005. St. Andrews, Scotland, where Prince William met Kate. Miss Henderson is indeed from money. I'm not thinking of money as my finger traces that face. Oprah's smile makes me smile. My reverie is brutally ended. She is fucking gorgeous, isn't she? I'll ride her yet. Dino jovially claps my back as he dashes to the toilet. Jesus, Jerry, I'm touching cloth. Here cometh one almighty you-bend blocker. He plods on, picking his wedgie from his bum. His thick Dublin accent reverberates in my head. I'll ride her yet. And my own cocky, but cold voice too. Oh yeah, do you think so, you ignoramus? In middle age, and I'd even venture in one's 30s, comes appreciation of things beyond the flesh. A day comes when one comments, God, that's a lovely piece of furniture. Or, what grape variety? What region was it grown in? Sworn anathemas become a source of pleasurable curiosity. In short, life's natural progression offers final offer vistas of appreciation. With age, our experiences are packed into a rucksack, stenciled irrelevant. We are put out to grass on a carousel. The more we age, the faster and rustier it gets, until we peacefully slump on our horses. Alternatively, our drool, slaver, and incontinence fouls up the works and grinds the carousel to a disconsolate halt. If we are lucky, before we're drafted to the carousel, we occupy ourselves with new or renewed interests: gardening, fishing, hill walking, guitar lessons, origami, dancing. It was gardening Dino and I took to. Atop the Donnybrook house lay a shambles of a roof garden dating from the 50s. One day Mabel offered us sole access on condition that we restore it to its former glory. We went from 2 men with troubles to 2 men with shovels. We laid an ornate pavement, planted roses, gladiolas, hibiscus, set up trellis with clematis. We even have a discreet Italian marble fountain. Its effervescent gurgling lends ambience to our almost nightly rooftop conversations. The roof garden has given us purpose and reward. Occasionally, we aid Mabel up the narrow staircase to enjoy the fruits of our labour. Particularly on a muggy summer afternoon, she enjoys copious gin and tonics while regaling us with her wartime experiences in the Far East. She is a sprightly 92, but looks younger. Her mind is sharp. Dino and I are deeply fond of Mabel Winford Marshall. The odd time we're behind on our rent is no matter to Mabel. Quid pro quo, she'll ask us to fix a window or deal with a troublesome tenant. She is dignity and decency, and even with her payment-in-kind edict, we always pay our way. Nobody takes advantage of Mabel's dotage on our watch. After a good sleep, I'm up on the roof garden for my first nocturne since before Tenerife. Dino has foregone the classic composers in favour of Miles Davis. Round midnight. It's rare in Dublin to get a big Hollywood-esque moon. Tonight we hit the jackpot. A beaut. Big and tinged orange, it hangs out over Howth Peninsula like a giant gorgonzola. Early autumnal night. Treetops hiss as a mild breeze loops in from the coast. Dublin Bay. Horizon. Liverpool-bound ferry lights fade. Bailey Lighthouse regally sweeps beams from its rocky promontory across choppy waters. Welcome to Ireland. Goodbye, Ireland. Fire pit coals glow as I flop on my favourite armchair. The heat accentuates the scent of the Clematis montana. It's wonderful. Ever think you'd see that in our lifetime, Jerry? See what? He points out Mars, Venus, Jupiter. Good man, Dino. You've the Cabernet Sauvignon laid on. Did what I just say go over your head? I mean, when, in an Irish night sky, do you ever see those planets at the same time? Relax, Corporal Snotty. Indeed, I share your sense of marvel. Hey, is that Mercury too? Mercury is a tricky one to see, as it's small and close to the sun, so it often sets before it gets dark enough to see many other stars, explains Dino. Cabernet sloshes silky rich on my palate. Dino and I silently bask. We've lost parents this year. Alcohol consoles us. Blurry lights of planes come and go. From the east they fly into Dublin Airport, descending at 90-second intervals. Barely visible at a higher altitude in the western sky, the planes carry souls to America and Canada. Dino breaks the lull. What's the plan? I lift my glass. Framing the Haunting Moon, Miles Davis, All Blues. Joggers is the plan. Joggers. Bollocks. Jogging. The night Oprah visited you chickened out and went walking. Listen, Dino. No, rather, look. I swished the Tenerife napkin from my smoking jacket. Smoking jackets and titles such as Sir figure big in our nocturnes. I unfold the delusional document on the coffee table. Sir, ignore the blood spatters which are related to the mystery head wound what I obtained under foreign skies. What's with all the diagrams? Is it D-Day you're planning? J-Day, Dino. J-Day. Resist the temptation to interject, and you might learn something, or as Tracy would say, summat. Who's Tracy? Who's the goth? Fuck off, I'm not telling. Ditto, Dino, ditto. Oi, Jerry, while you were away, a piece of ass moved into one of the apartments. A blondie. Didn't get to introduce myself. Piece of ass, sir? How coarse. The planets are in all their glory. A clear, starry night. Yeah, I'm full of optimism. Yeah, the universe is aligning in my favor. Stars, when you shine, you know how I feel. I'm feeling good. Here, have you seen Max recently? My very core freezes and my teeth automatically clench. Dino, do not mention him to me. Do not mention that full of himself fucker. I was in such a positive place tonight. Do not mention him. Ah, come on. I'm sorry. Truly sorry, mate. I just... Drop it, Dino. Okay. Okay. Chill. It's gone. So sorry. Upset now, I think of calling it a night. It would be churlish, though, as Dino's remorse is obvious. And he's pouring me more wine, which helps. Okay. I'm sorry too, Dino. Let's move on. Here's the short version. I'm going to create an organization. Ostensibly, its purpose is to compile data on all things jogging. Jog-graphy will have international chapters and a formidable online presence. I say ostensibly because this mission has one objective. And what's that? I want Paula, Jasmine, and Rachel back in my life. Dino suppresses a pained grimace. I don't care what you think. I've had time to think and believe. I'm fed up of writing myself off at 49 because I don't conform to conformity. I hate my fat mug staring back at me every morning. I detest scrounging for money. I feel myself welling up. I loathe having made something to waste it all through stupidity. Losing a saint like Paula and our two little girls, I'm so goddamn lonely. I resort to sleeping with women half my age in order to convince myself I exist on any level of worth. I know it sounds ludicrous, but you've decided that instead of chasing your tail, you'll chase joggers, and in doing so, regain your family and self-esteem. That's it in a nutshell, mate. And I don't care what you think. You draw conclusions like curtains, Jerry. How do you know what I think? I see the face on you. I'd look funny without it. I can't help but laugh. Well, that's what I want. And how I'm going to go about it. I know what desperation is like, Jerry. I mean, look at me and Jennifer back in the day. We don't talk about Jennifer. What I actually think is, why not? I mean, people have made money out of everything from texting to milk cartons. Jogging. Do you think joggers will give you a little money for your run? We both chuckle at his accidental slogan. Can I use that? Jog-graphy. Joggers, give us a little money for your run. Dino sprawls back. Don't think it quite works, but my point is, how are you going to, monetize? I'm not sure. I like how your outfit operates, you know, renting DVDs online, customers paying via credit card, no credit control required. I like it. Don't mention the war. They went bust when you were in Tenerife. I'm on the dole. Ah, man, I'm sorry. I know the boss was an arsehole, but what happened? Netflix happened. They set up in Ireland and hammered us on price. Shit. Did you get paid? No. The little bollocks legged it, along with me £2,000. Jeepers, Dino, that's tough. I know the work you put in. No, you don't. How would you know how much I sweat it for it? Surprised by Dino's hostile tone, I shoot back. I'm not getting into an argument with you. I really sympathise, okay? He folds his arms. How the fuck would you know the effort I put in? Now I'm just confused. Dino motions me to stand up. He gently takes my arm and leads me 30 yards or so to the far corner of the roof garden. It has a panoramic view of the city and distant Dublin mountains. How would you know the effort I put in to getting that up on our roof garden? While A, you were sunning yourself, and B, having the crap pommeled out of you in Tenerife. Then I see it, a massive chunk of sleek electric blue fiberglass. With a flourish, Dino presses a button, and the tarpaulin cover retracts like a concertina. Welcome to the Jacuzzi of Love, Sir Robertson. Man alive, where'd you get this from? No answer. He's button busy. Internal aqualights flick on, beams piercing the bubbling waters. Dino gives a foppish smirk. Would Sir like to slip off his shit-stained skivvies and join one for Bolly in a tub of decadence? In seconds we're starkers, immersed to our necks in glorious surging mini-geezers. The temperature is revitalizing, the perfect healing happening. Okay, so did you rob a bank? Next best thing, I robbed a bollocks. Dino sinks down, his arms wide on the panelling. Smugness fleets across his craggy face. No, let me rephrase that, sir. I commandeered goods to the value of my toil. Pray tell, Corporal Doherty. Well, gentlemen of the jury, quanto times the last 2 years did you observe me owe Mrs. Wintford Marshall the stipend commonly referred to as rent? Indulging the self-appointed rumphole of the Bailey, I reply snootily, Sir, I should be horsewhipped if I lied by giving an exact figure as to the, funding deficits, but should you find my testimony to be false, I ask the court to subject me to the ultimate penalty. Dino harumphs. And what would that be, sir? That I be taken to a public place and have a wire brush inserted in my disgraced rectum by Shane the gormless clot bastard, son of Lord Ponsonby IV, Baron of Sebastopol. Ah, Jerry, calm down. Dino reverts to his native Dublin accent. Many's the time I left poor old Mabel short when my so-called employer was fancying himself as Richard Branson. Sir Richard Branson, I correct him. Ah, fuck off, would you? The weasel frequently kept me waiting weeks to be paid. Anyways, I didn't wish to rock the boat, or Titanic as it subsequently transpired. I was regularly promised a share of the business, and fed all the juicy lingo, about an upcoming IPO, etc. But you weren't having any of it, Corporal Doherty, you being a veteran of Lebanon and all. Jesus, I never thought I'd utter such a cheesy cliché, but I didn't interrupt you, Jerry, so don't interrupt me. 'Tis indeed mega cheesy. Continue, my lord. So anyways, my instincts have gone to DEFCON 1. I suss he's supping from the fountain of dodgy. Hiding from phone calls, not opening invoices, all the classic hallmark of a cowboy. Hold on. Watch this. Another button. Champagne. It's rapidly hauled from an icy interior. Bollinger, La Grande Année Bleu. Have I died and gone to heaven? I'm handed a champagne flute. Don't drop that, or I'll stab you with what's left of it. Nice to know, sir. Cheers. Dino resumes his tale. Would you look at this, baby? Check out its floor tiles. 'Twasn't cheap. This here 8-man hot tub was imported from Frederick, Colorado, USA. Anywho, there I am, waiting for the hammer to fall. This guy may think he's clever, but stupidly has given me use of the company credit card. I use it to order new stock or hard-to-obtain DVD titles. The Dino is IT savvy. Online I purchase a gizmo called a keystroke logger, $69.95. Bingo, bongo, FedEx. I interface it with my boss's PC, who was blissfully unaware
that I've now entered his world. And what a world of shit it is, sir. 50 Shades of Water Sports, S&M, autoerotica, sex magic. You won't find on Hogwarts curriculum. He must have gone to the Mickey Mouse School of Security too. His password was 0000.
So far, he's done nothing illegal. You can't hold a man's proclivities against him.
Jerry, keep in mind, this guy paints himself as a pillar of the community. His PC is the key to his soul. It's also a portal to his questionable business practices. We resisted the temptation to put all his downloads on a USB and post it to his missus. I won't even try to describe how warped most of that content was. Although it wasn't Gary Glitter territory, thank God. I'd have gone to the cops if it had been.
Dino, say what you want about Glitter, but at least he slows down outside schools.
Are you drunk already? Withdraw that tasteless remark, sir.
Unreservedly, let it be struck from the Nocturne's records.
Dino claps his hands. I trawl through his emails, and time again, there are regular communications with a Chinese DVD firm. I Google translate the name. It literally means fake DVDs. Regularly, a van full of DVDs would arrive at the office, you know. Most of our DVDs were legit, but he must have been diluting the stock. He always insisted on supervising deliveries when the van arrived. From his emails, I could see he was buying new titles dirt cheap. I must say the quality was superb. Sure, didn't we watch a few here? It became obvious them DVDs were hotter than Satan's bollocks.
Did you not even have an inkling what was going on?
Nope. When the white van came along, so did he, and I just assumed he'd found a new distributor.
Aha! Counterfeit DVDs?
Yeah, and eventually nothing but counterfeit. He was also a wholesaler to other white boys. You know, the average fine for each offence can be €1,900 upwards, but at this scale of criminality, he was cruising towards a custodial. He wouldn't have lasted 2 minutes in the slammer. Thought he was Colin Farrell, always preening. Some jailbird would have taken a meat missile mud bath up his mangina. I mentally winced at a drooling yog and grass verge flashback. I was living his lurid life through his PC. He was pissing money away with his golfing cronies in Gleneagles Golf Resort. And the minibar bills, club sandwiches and fine liquors galore. Accessories, nothing less than the bridge. Briefcases, custom hand-stitched leather goods, cars, 4x4 BMW, Mercedes and Land Cruisers. The wife, the same. Prada, Jimmy Choo, a stucco mansion in Kildare and international holiday homes. This dude took the word Bangkok, literally, and was at it with hookers in Thailand and Vegas on his business trips. Know what else sickened me? He was so mean. If he farted, he'd claim gas expenses. I'm loving Dino's story and getting the spirit. He was so mean, Corporal Doherty, that if a man was drowning, he'd throw him both ends of the rope. Precisely, my learned friend. He could peel an orange in his pocket with a boxing glove. Dino waves his brimming glass for effect. Dino's story culminates. Now, the average rental for 2 DVDs unlimited was between €12 and €14. Some folks went mad and were renting 4 for €20 plus. The DVDs were standing him 50 cents each, courtesy of Mr. Tagalashi in China. It was a gold mine. Remember, he had muckers driving up from the country too with wads of cash, and they're making a killing out of farmers and spinster gusset typists in Ballygo backwards. Everybody's happy, on the face of it, except you. I'm only the tip of the shitberg. He has multiple mortgage in arrears. Loans are being called in. Then some geeky customers suss their DVDs aren't kosher. They bombard the office with calls, which I end up having to field. Joe Duffy of RTE airs a load of disgruntled punters. Then CEO Reed Hastings brings Netflix to Ireland. Average rental, €6. DVDs become passé as streaming gains popularity. To top it all off, the mother of all recessions sweeps the planet.
Hey, Dino, who is this guy?
Finn Slaughter, a surname which proved karmic. Constantly I'm monitoring his PC both at work and via remote access. I'm reading his emails and broken promises. Luckily, these intercepts reveal the exact day the banks are to foreclose.
Armed with insider information and incriminating audit trails, I take the nuclear option. I phone him. I insist we meet. He tells me he hasn't time. I tell him he'd better make time.
Where?
Says he.
The foyer of the Marion Hotel at 11 bells, says I.
You've expensive tastes for a former private soldier.
He snorts belittlingly.
So have you, for a counterfeiter, I snap back. It's silent. So, you know I've been supplying counterfeit DVDs for the last 5 years?
I know I'm recording this conversation, and you'd be lucky if you do less than 5 years. Got him.
He turns up at the Marion looking shifty. He splutters on his coffee when I quietly inform him that as of 10:15 a.m, his bank account is minus €55,000. Privy to his passwords, I've carried out the transfer to my account. It's a fait accompli.
Finn's face is a picture of annihilation. Then I administered the coup de grace. I warn him of 2 grave outcomes should any foul play befall me. I intimate I've discovered pornography of a criminal nature on his hard disk. I've mirrored this disk, which also contains all his dodgy dealings, and it resides in a safe known only to my solicitor. If I get whacked, my solicitor will forward it to the Garda Computer Crime Unit. I embellish my fib by saying I've also a Chinese associate, and he's been given an interesting document to be forwarded to Mr. Tagalashi should similar circumstances dictate. From emails I'm aware Tagalashi is out of pocket by about 40k. I enlighten Finn as to Mr. Tagalashi's triad credentials. It's complete bullshit. Finn realises he's fucked. He's on the verge of a nervous breakdown. I casually tell him like the Mounties, the triad always get their man. However, unlike their law-enforcing Canadian cousins, when the triad get their man, they gouge his. Finn holds his hand up in surrender. I grab it and turn it into a handshake. As I leave him on the ropes, I tell him, in fact, the Irish Anti-Piracy Agency, as well as some friendly journalists, are all only a heartbeat away. Provided I'm unharmed, he need have no fear. He gasps.
Thank you, Dino. My father was in the army too.
Well, that's great, Finn. You won't begrudge the €10,000 I transferred on your behalf to the Army Benevolent Fund then? He can't speak. It's Slaughter Finn time.
He owed you a poxy £2,000, and you've pants pushed the merry begotten child up the dummock for 65k?
Yes, sir. I can boogie.
But I've no scruples about it, 'cause he messed me about. I'm doing the planet of kindness is the way I see it. There's 5k for you in your bedside locker. It'll help you seed your jogging enterprise.
Ah, Dino, there's no need for that.
Yes, there is. You've been a good friend.
I don't know what to say. Say nothing. Just listen to Miles.
Blue and green? The very track, sir.
And there we were, in the wee small hours, carousing and quaffing bolly. It was unreal. So, how'd you get the jacuzzi up here?
Ah, yes, the height for hire people, and the jacuzzi people. His Amex came in handy for that little lot. A friend in need needs a flexible friend, sir.
Jerry, I'm going to buy some stylish clothes and start living a bit. I'd like to appear respectable if Oprah invites me to meet her family.
Clothes maketh the corporal.
Let's turn in. Thank you for a most convivial nocturne, sir. Who's the goth? What happened your head? 10 a.m. the next morning, no slacking for either of us. We mean business. I've got to research for joggraphy.com. Despite Dino's generous gift of 5k, there are bills to pay. The winds of financial reality are never far from my mind. Today I've decided to chance my arm at setting up my own creative writing classes. I'm wording the advert as Dino and I munch toast at the kitchen table. Where could I rent a classroom around here?
Town Hall.
Ask for Mulligan. Tell him Doc Doherty sent you.
We served together in uni, Phil.
Doc Doherty?
Don't ask.
Still gonna do the writing course then? Just to keep a few euro coming in. That's the idea, anywho. I've a few ideas too.
I'm a worker bee, not a drone.
Why bother? Haven't you 50k fuck you money? How much is enough?
What part of worker bee do you not understand?
Just thought you'd kick back for a while, following the slaughter of slaughter.
Not my style, Kimo-sabi. More coffee. The phone rings.
I'll get it.
That'll be the brother, says Dino.
Mick and I are well acquainted. We've a wicked line in banter. I pick up the receiver and blab a phony American accent. Joe's crematorium. You kill him, we grill him. Deathly silence on the line. Bollocks. It's not Mick. Hello? Is that you, Dino? Oprah. My heart soars. I'm sorry. I thought it was someone else. Och, 'tis you, chicken. How's my wee Spaniard? Great. Yeah. I want to keep her talking. Study going okay? A storm a cree. Gaelic for treasure of my heart. Ooh, showing off the Gaelic and all, she chortles. I think I could wake up beside that laugh ad infinitum. Dino appears. Gimme. I leave them to it. The conversation is stilted. Dino is tetchy. Hoi, Oprah. The dormitory. Damp proof and the entire wing. On Thursday. You have to vacate all day. That's not going to suit. Hang on. Oprah, hang on. Relax. Look, I would if I could, but I can't. I swore to Uncle Alf I'd visit. He's in hospital in Manchester. I'm flying over for a few days. I can't. Stop, will you, Oprah? When it comes to driving a man to drink, you're a natural. Alf means a lot to me. Use my bedroom. Just a sec. Dino nods at me. Jerry, will you be in on Thursday night? Oprah won't sleep here on her own. Says the building spooks her. Aren't I always here, old son? There you go, Oprah. Chicken man will mind you. Take your overnight bag. Crash out in my room. Yeah, I'll be back Saturday. I know. Me too, honey. You see, Alf always took care of me when I was in London. Manchester. Okay, darling. Me too. Dino hangs up as my heart performs a reverse somersault and twist. I act blasé. Trouble at mill? Swaggering to our prized Fiorenzato machine, his expression turns an insolent smug. Bet you wish you were me. 2 boards gagging for me whoopee stick. One has peanut butter legs. Know what I mean, Jerry? No. Enlighten me. They're easy to spread. Oh, yeah. That Wolfie. Boy, will I make her howl. Goth woman? Yeah. Real name Lorraine. The quintessential special services performer. And the second contestant to climb Mount Baldy is Miss Clingy Knickers, of course, from Bonnie, Scotland. Daddy's spoiled lassie o' Loch Lomond. Rock on. 50k in me ass pocket and 2 chicks craving me baby batter. I'm a legend. Question for you, Dino. Hit me with your best shot. Why is it you always have an angry hard-on? Why the macho act? Dino turns serious. How do you mean? All these years, and I still can't figure out whether it's you're misogynistic or insecure. That's, if I may say, a highly perceptive observation, sir. I'm nipping out to get the newspaper. Need anything? No, thanks. The door slams. He's gone. Hope I haven't hurt him. Tough shit if I have. Time to begin the work. Google search. I type in jogging and hit enter. About 76,800,000 results in 0.18 seconds. Interesting. Top of the list is a Google ad for Marks and Spencer jogging pants. When you drill down, the first non-ad is for a band called Jogging. Then it's Wikipedia, followed by About.com. The first images aren't particularly to die for. Tom Cruise and his wife Katie Holmes out for a jog. Tom has left his Top Gun days in the crapper. No smart uniform, just a drab pink top, nondescript black shorts and milk bottle legs. They've bodyguards in tow. Very presidential. In fact, I decide, there and then, that the Prez and I shall meet. Think big, Jerry. Imagine what a coup it will be if Obama firmly comes down on the side of jogger fanciers. It'll be enshrined as a constitutional freedom of expression. Chase joggers. Yes, we can. There I'll be, in my White House robe, an honorary first family member, sitting with Michelle, enjoying coffee
and flaky croissants. Dazzled by my charm, Michelle will have a soft spot for me. I'll tell her the truth. She is gorgeous and inspirational, and nobody but nobody can make jambalaya quite like her. Nothing over-familiar, though, not only out of respect for America's First Lady, but the likelihood that I'd find myself on a CIA dance floor for the last horizontal tango. The Prez will emerge fresh from the shower, smiling more teeth than a Ferrari gearbox. "Don't get up, Jerry." He lean over to shake my hand while doing that politician's thing of trying to place the other hand on my back. It won't work, though, because his hand gets wedged between my back and the couch. "Hey, Michelle, Jerry and I were out jogger fancying this morning, and I asked him what his advice would be on Afghanistan." Know what he said?
What did he say, honey?
Barack rocks with glee, whilst I look on with a bemused expression. Honey, he said, "It's a little gloomy, but we could probably work wonders with just a few geraniums." Michelle roars, laughing.
Ha ha ha! Ain't he funny, sweetie?
"Jerry, tell Michelle what your advice was about the U.S. relationship with Israel." I'll act all bashful. "No, Mr. President, come on." "Honey, on Israel, he said, when we were kids, we all loved Michael Jackson until we found out he loved us too." The both of them go into mirthful convulsions. Oh, how we laugh. Enough daydreaming. I type joggers into Google and hit enter. About 9,870,000 results in 0.15 seconds. Wow! After the obligatory Google ads for jog pants and the like, the first listing is for baby joggers, i.e. strollers. Thereafter, it's back into Wikipedia and jogging, etc., as opposed to joggers. I say, wow! Because it is clear no single organization or group of individuals have attempted synonymy with this globally popular pastime of jogging. Joggers are interesting, sexy, healthy, or wannabe healthy. They spend billions on apparel and accoutrements. Yet, no one has laid claim to the alpha and omega of all things jogging and joggers. That's the clincher for me. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you joggraphy.com. Dino flips the Irish Independent on the table and puts 2 litres of milk in the fridge.
So, when did Uncle Alf take poorly?
What?
This, Uncle Alf you were telling Oprah about. Is he very ill?
Jerry, did you come out of the shallow end of the gene pool? Dino swigs from his coffee mug. There's no bleeding Uncle Alf. That's just a story to fool Oprah. Wolf and I are going to Mortal Tastes 2012 in London next week. I'm appalled by his dishonesty.
Dino, is that twinkle in your eye actually the sun shining through your ears? Normally I'd consider you smart. Let me break it up into baby pieces. You're pushing 50 and have a 17-year-old son from your former marriage to Bernie, who, despite your differences, is still on good terms with you. Jennifer, Dino recoils, destroyed you. Is this going somewhere, Granny? I'm losing the will to live. Just hear me out. Now, you're redundant. However, your own ingenuity has just landed you 50k tax-free. In IKEA, you slavered that life had changed because you'd found the one. Oprah, the one who, and I quote, "you could eat chips out of her knickers," unquote. It galls me to say it, mate. I think she's beautiful. And you've landed on your feet. Why does it piss you off? Well, because I'd love a relationship with a type Oprah. You have one, but are jeopardizing it with some hard-show hick whore. Hey, easy now. Don't talk about Lorraine like that. You know nothing about her. I know she charges you for her kicks. What does that make her? No answer. He knows I'm right. Where did you meet this brazzer? This so-called wolf? On Finn's computer. He'd been enjoying her services. I checked out her website. We've seen each other maybe 3 times. And we've done things, Jerry. He starts to snigger. I mean, she constructs this whatchamacallit in the bedroom and... I don't want to know. Maybe because you're afraid you'd like it. Granny, don't patronize me. You'll never be the man your mother was. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. I forgot your mum passed away this year. I'm only trying to save you from yourself. Dino stifles a fake yawn. I'm busy now. Do you mind if I ignore you some other time? Don't hurt Oprah. She'll be worth the wait. Put out, Jerry. What Oprah doesn't know won't hurt her. I'm hornier than a 3-balled tomcat these days, so keep your gob clamped. And don't get any ideas when I'm away about yourself and Oprah. She's my long-term project. I'm not like you, Dino. I intend to treat Oprah like the lady she is. Fine by me, mate. I'm not worried. If I can't get intimate with her, you certainly have zero chance. Now come on, Jerry baby. Remember, what she don't know won't hurt her. Oh, I need help with some business ideas. I drop the subject, que sera, etc. Dino grabs me from behind in a playful bear hug and ruffles my hair. Ooh, look at the sulky-wulky Jerry Wary. Diddums. Is he angry-wangry? Didn't I give you 5k 'cause I loves ya? I can't help but smile. Oh, fuck you, Shakin' Stevens. You can shove it up your arse sideways if you feel the need to keep raking it up all the time. There was a time I'd wipe my arse in 5k. Come on, Jerry. Sing the old Dr. Hook song. He keeps hugging and tickling me. When your body has enough of me and I'm lying flat here on the floor. What am I going to do, Jerry? I'm exasperated, but love me a little bit more. Faggot. We've got Radio Nova on in the background. Pat Courtney is playing Dave Lee Roth, Just Like Paradise. Pat Courtney and Dave Lee Roth, both geniuses, both gods. Dino opens his laptop. You did a bit of that back in the day, didn't you? Indeed, sir. First love was always radio. I was a DJ on quite a few pirates. Sunshine 101, Radio Dublin. Oh, them were the days. What happened? Life. Pat Courtney is a god, though, isn't he, Jerry? Yeah, Pat is a god. Hey, those business ideas, let's be having them. Dino whips a piece of A4 from his folder. Voila! Okay, Corporal Doherty, what's the first one? St. Judy Garland of Flowers. Holy camoli, what's that? A business idea. I create a website, okay? Okay, and totally dedicated to St. Jude, who is a saint. You're getting warm. St. Jude, who is... I'm stumped. Canonized. Jude is a saint. Come on now, Jerry. Expand your mind. What? What? Oh, I get it. Drugs. Beatles. HeyJude.com. Is that it? I'd better tell you before you stage a nutty. St. Jude is the patron saint of lost causes. Really? We'd better start praying then, Corporal Doherty. Listen, fuck muppet. Do you want to hear my business plan or not? Yeah, go on then. People in distress, right? Financial, emotional, bereavement, abusive relationships. You'd know all about those. Why did you say that? Well, don't you and goth woman abuse each other? Friend, you know nothing about mortal tastes. Nor do I wish to. Another coffee? No, but how would you like a nice cup of shut the fuck up? As I was saying, there's a market for desperate souls. I'll launch St. Judy Garland of Flowers.com and folk suffering lost causes will flock to it. I'll be behind the computer screen waiting for them. Just like you were for Finn Slaughter. Incidentally, there's one part of that story that amazed me, Dino. What's that? When you phoned him and he blurted, "So you know I've been supplying counterfeit DVDs for the last 5 years. Well, he did. Why would he hang himself like that? Even admitting to the amount of years he'd misappropriated? He'd what? It's another word for theft. So is tax. But perhaps it's because he's a gobshite whose last chance of getting one over on me was to jump before being pushed. Dumb or what? Shoot ashamed but never blamed. That's what happened. Where was I? Prayers of the faithful. Yeah, when those unfortunate souls visit my website, they'll see a special offer. If they share their address and put €25 in my PayPal account, I'll brighten their day. What do they get for €25? A paper note, blessed by His Holiness, ordering the divine intervention of St. Jude on the sufferer's behalf. How will they know it's blessed by the Pope? They won't. But if they're desperate enough to believe St. Jude is going to rescue them from the shit, they'll be desperate enough to believe Anton. Jeepers, that's fucking immoral. It's value for money. You see, they also get a garland of flowers. That's why I request their addresses.
Flowers delivered by a woman dressed as Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And who's the woman going to be? Her pay alone would be more than €25. Lorraine says she'll do it. Dino, it's called the World Wide Web for a reason. What's the goth gee-bag going to do? Buy a fucking F-16? Initially, we'll trial it in Dublin and see if it takes off, and then we'll worry about that other stuff. The other stuff? For starters, Jude is one name, and Judy is an entirely different one. Now you're nitpicking. I bet lots of people pronounce Jude, Judy. Bollocks, Dino. I don't think the Beatles would have sold 1 million of Hey Judy. No, bollocks to you, pal. What about Judy in the Sky with Diamonds? That was Lucy, you big idiot. You're not giving her much of a chance, are you? No, it sucks. Why? You're the one who thinks jogging is de rigueur, and I'm good with it. Dino, there is a world of difference between joggers and Judes. Dino resorts to crushing biscuits with the top of a spoon. No one suffering from terminal cancer is going to welcome a gothic poker climber dressed as Dorothy croaking somewhere over the rainbow, with or without flowers. Well, pity, 'cause she looks great in ruby shoes. Dino, it's a lousy idea to mix whores and religion. Try telling that to Jesus. He had a soft spot for Mary Magdalene. Not if she went everywhere carrying a toolbox, he wouldn't. Why not? He was a carpenter's son, wasn't he? Just leave it. Have you any more ideas? Yup. Whodunit, Houdini. What's that? It's a winner. There are 2 strands to it. The experience and the board game. Dino, it's a non-starter. Why? What's wrong this time? Let's take the experience. What does that involve? Okay, nothing particularly original. I organise a traditional whodunit in conjunction with some luxury hotel. Say, one of them's ones out in Connemara, or a classy joint like Adair Manor, or a castle. Yeah, that would be good, to create an atmosphere like. Dino, how much are you going to charge? €2,500 per person sharing over a weekend, non-inclusive of extras. Fuck. I know, it's bloody marvellous, isn't it? Get out of town, it's outrageous. The biggest recession since 1929, and you're asking Joe and Josephine Public to cough up $5,000 for bed and breakfast and a parlour game. Up your butt with a coconut. There are Yanks who'd light the fire with €5,000. That's nearly $6,500, aside from flights or extras. By the way, what are these extras? Lorraine builds a spanking machine at the foot of the couple's bed, and that's both bizarre and disturbing. Do you have any ideas that don't include her? You'd better start realising that Lorraine and myself are the John and Yoko of mortal tastes. Some consultant you are. Your head is up your culo. How do you make that out? Because 50 Shades of Grey is massive. Everyone is jumping on the bondage bus except Granny Robertson. Dino, we don't need 50 Shades of Grey. We are 50 Shades of Grey. Anyway, like I said, it's a non-starter. Yeah, why so? It's staring you in the face! What is? Why, it's a non-starter. Why is it a non-starter? Because it's obvious who done it. Fucking Houdini done it. You give the game away with the title. A blind man in a sandstorm would see it. Houdini done it. So why even have the whodunit bit? Dino taps his nose and shakes his head. Precisely. That's the point. Hold on. Am I missing something? My understanding of a whodunit is guests sit down to dinner where some actors stage a murder. Then the guests have to guess who done it. Am I right so far? Absolutely, nods Dino. And where does Houdini enter the equation? Sure, I'll be playing Houdini. I'll do a few evasion tricks I learnt in the army, commit a mock murder. Oh, and I always escape. You couldn't escape from licorice handcuffs. I don't want to piss on your bonfire, but your idea is shite. Why bother pissing when you've let fly a tsunami all over it? Dino jumps up from his chair and throws his arms out dramatically. Oh, it's magic, you know. Never believe it's not so. It's magic, Jerry. He starts dancing now, and I'm beginning to be concerned for the man's sanity. He stops dead and points at me. Who sang that song? You did. No, you microphallus. Try again. Pilot 1974 on the EMI label. Aha, you get that, don't you? Next question. Ever hear of the Rocky Horror Show? Of course, it had a cult following. Correct. Let's linger on that word, following, shall we? Dino, you're sounding like an arsehole. What's your point? My point, Gerard, is years after that movie was released, folks were still turning up in costume and melting the lines in sync with the reruns. It became an occasion. My point is folk weren't obsessed with the ending, but with the process and performance. The Rocky Horror Show became an excuse for fun. And you think well-paying guests are going to have fun watching an Egypt like you tie himself in and out of knots while having a call girl erect a gallows at the bottom of the bed? It's a spanking machine, and it'll be a bit of fun. I don't suppose you want to know about the spin-off board game? Nope. Okay, so what happened to your head in Tenerife? Much to Dino's delight, I relate every painful detail. When he finishes falling about, he takes my hand. He squeezes it and looks me in the eye. But, Jerry, weren't you alive? Barely. But you were living over there in Spain, weren't you? You weren't Mr. Has-been, broken-hearted ex-trader, no. You were free from all that baggage. You were seeking and finding relevance, eh? He's right. And Jerry, mate, who knows, we might have another 30 or 40 years left if some crazy doesn't press that big red button. I can see us rich at 50, which is the new middle-class 30. Both of us on a yacht. You with Paul and the girls, me with Oprah, and maybe a baby. I want to marry her. Oprah's a slow burn, but meanwhile, I'm living. And don't judge Lorraine too harshly. We've things in common. It's not just sexual. She's a friend. Whether it's stocks or cocks you trade in, everybody is human. In Tenerife, you began creating hope, and you fond memories out of it, don't you? Well, some scars anyway. Dino squeezes my hand tighter and mimics me.
Well, some scars.
Listen to yourself, man. Don't you understand? You've created memories, and memories keep you alive. Thanks. I've to create a business. Good luck with your ideas. They're just not for me. Who done it, Houdini, Jerry? I'm telling you. He smiles sunshine at me. Dino, what age is Oprah? 27. What's that got to do with Anton? What's she majoring in? Well, certainly not my little friend anyway. Must you always be such a boor? What's she studying at Trinity College? She's into history, Roman and Greek civilizations. That's a 22-year age gap. Doesn't it bother you? Wouldn't bother Rod Stewart. Yeah, but you're not Rod Stewart. The guy is minted. Dino rolls his head as if he is limbering up. You see, there are two differences between us, Granny. I am virile. Women like that. You cry into a Chinese meal and glug a few bottles of wine when the world kicks you in your twigs and berries. My what? Your balls. Your balls. Appendages you're seemingly bereft of. Me? I'm tough. Ex-army. Jesus, Dino. A corporal in the Irish Army? It's hardly SEAL Team 6. Who are they? A boy band? They're the elite of the elite. The ones who gave Bin Laden the good news. Can I finish, sir? The other difference is you obsess with comparisons and numbers. It all must compute for you, mustn't it? If it don't fit in the boring box marked proper order, it all goes to pot. I'm 49, and so are you. Oprah is 27. I want Oprah, and she wants me. She sees me, and she sees man, 49, in great shape, confident. I'll change him. I want his love gravy in me. Well, she's taken her time on that front. Ah, there you go again. Being negative. It's not the norm, is it, in Jerry's world? What isn't? That my Scottish lass, Oprah, o' the iron-clad tartan trios, hasn't danced in the sheets with me yet. Bollocks. I keep telling you to give it time. Bullshit. You suspect she's panicking the Dino is too old for her. Well, I've news for you. I will be parking the beef bus in Tuna Town, all in good time. I think you're confusing me with someone who gives a fuck. Remember what I said? Become virile, become a man. Stop obsessing, stop comparing. It'll all come good. He's getting too close to my insecurities. I feign nonchalance. You've got me all wrong, mate. I don't wish to get laid by girls who look like Justin Bieber. I want to get laid by cougars who like Genesis. You want Paula, Jasmine and Rachel back. And that's about the size of it, isn't it? You know it is. I've told you often enough. Exactly. So stop acting like a two-faced love rat. That's my job.
Chapter 4. Duran Duran. Sunrise. 2004. Black Abba, Black Abba, Black Abba. Say it 3 times in your bathroom mirror and they'll appear behind you. At least that's what the blurb says on their flyers. Man, I love Black Abba. I'm standing in my local, the Lager and Lout, watching them belt out the hits. They are a mixture of West Indian, Somali and Nigerian migrants who came over in the boom and have shown 2 fingers to the bust. Dino and I are great friends with Black Abba. We love their colourful clothes and attitude. There's Ayana, she's Somali, and tells me her name means beautiful blossom, and she lives up to it. Her fellow Somali is Nadifa, who for some reason thinks I'm hilarious. Nadifa is over 6 feet 6 inches tall and has legs as long as Brigitte Nielsen's. I tried to walk her home one night. We shared a bag of chips. We must have looked like Beauty and the Deceased. I was terribly drunk. Every stagger and drunken wisecrack was met with Nadifa's guffaws of amusement. I felt like an actor in the old 60s sci-fi TV series Land of the Giants. When I attempted to share more than the chips, she laughed at me. Just as well I didn't try a knee trembler in a side alley. I'd have needed a footladder. Instead, she gently placed my head between her massive gongas. I felt her sway and then lovingly croon an African lullaby. She sensed my awkwardness in forwardness. She kissed the top of my head as though I were a child. The both of us leaning against a wall as the bitter grey rain indiscriminately spattered our presence. A Dublin night with a wan moon, adrift from my emotional home. Nadifa, a lifetime from her village. You know, Jerry, you is very drunk, man. Do you know what they would do to you in Dublin? What would they do, Nana lovely black lady Tifa? I am from Dublin. What? Hey, Nadifa, the vicar of Dublin. Sheesh, you big drunkie. Do you know what they would do, little Jerry? They would chop off your umi. Me what? Oh, they would chop off that little Babble Becky Irish Willie with a mangbito sickle, so all the women could laugh at it. Simply because I was drunk? No, because you tried to make it with the chief's daughter, that is I. She nestled my head to her sweet bosom, a most pleasant way to temporarily go deaf. Oh, my little Jerry, you gave me such a laugh, you know. Her long ebony fingers teased my hair, and again another gentle kiss to the top of my head. Lunatic, it is time you gwin home. You's very drunk, Jerry. Very, very drunk. Lips that touch liquor, touch other lips quicker. Nadifa. Bleh! She smiled and hailed a taxi. We carried on as if nothing happened when I met her a few nights later at a Black Abba gig. Well, it wasn't as if anything did happen. So, that's Nadifa. And then there's the guys. There's Aloe Vera. Don't laugh, it's the 4th most popular boy's name in Barbados. He is a most handsome Bayesian, strong, quiet, and a stonking good piano player. We've given up greeting him with "Hello, Vera." He doesn't get the joke. He's the kind of young man that would make any father proud. Finally, Jamarco from sunny Jamaica, the Bjorn Ulvaris of Black Abba. He's a ringer for Bjorn, all right. Even got the big silvery glitzy star-shaped guitar to prove it. The girls look amazing with the big dog and cat white miniskirts and thigh-high white boots. Waterloo! Finally facing my Waterloo! It's been 2 days since Gino and I had our breakfast meeting. A lot has happened. An ambulance dropped Mabel home. Hospital tests revealed nothing untoward. The doctors suspect that stress might be a factor. Apart from that, she's fine. Dino and I spent an evening in her apartment. We sat there getting steadily tipsy with our adopted mum. She asked us to put on some Glenn Miller records. After a while, we flipped through her photo albums. These aren't the normal types of photos one suffers under duress. They were interesting, full of uniforms, jeeps, aircraft landing strips with titles like Singapore 1942, Burma 1945.
Mabel allows herself an occasional cheroot, regal, Catherine Hepburn-like. Floating blue smoke shrouds her serene features, alternating from amused to reflective, at times enigmatic. Mabel Winford Marshall is living history of a bygone era, yet hip to the times we live in. Our questions and interest are genuine. Mabel sometimes answers, other times dismisses with an aristocratic hand wave.
My boys, I've seen it all before, and one day, so will you.
After a few hours of Pimm's, brandy, and reminiscences, Dino cradles Mabel and puts her to bed. I tidy up the sedate time capsule. We had been busy in the previous 24 hours. 3 ads had been placed, 2 by me in the local press, and 1 by Dino, posted on an online classifieds and community website. My 2 read, Jogger Fancying, the Alpha and Omega. Interested? Contact P.O. Box... Dublin. Are you the next JK or EL? Creative writing classes. Interested? Contact P.O. Box... Dino's read, Who done it, Houdini? Have the shite whipped out of you in an Irish castle. Guest starring Ireland's answer to Houdini. Oh, Houdini. Parentheses, ex-army. Extras include a spanking machine built at the bottom of your bed while you wait. Construction by Wolf, our very own Gothic dominatrix. Parentheses, City and Guilds qualified. Après customised spanking. Enjoy a full Irish breakfast and try out our spa. As a memento, your spanking is filmed in HD. An ideal experience to relive at a fondue party or family Thanksgiving dinner. Whodunit Houdini. Your pain, no shame, our pleasure. Email dino@whippitydoodah.com. Reaction to my ads is swift, steady, but not overwhelming. I am, however, pleased with it. There are a number of count-me-in types on the jogger fancying front. I'm intrigued, considering that no universal acceptance of the term jogger fancying exists. It appears there are people yearning for collective legitimacy. Deciding to cash in on this latent demand for jogger fancying, I contact all interested parties by email or phone, which is why I find myself suited and booted in the Lager and Lout. Milo Murray, the proprietor, is a Cockney geezer, originally from the Elephant and Castle area in central London. I've been granted the use of a room free of charge. How could Milo refuse? He owes me money. Milo owes everybody money. Here I'll vet and sign up the world's first jogger fanciers. It was a ballsy move opening a pub called the Lager and Lout in the leafy suburbs of Dublin 4, where traditional names like Kylie's and Madikins have held sway for generations. Well-written replies suggest that these people are a cultured class. A few have queried my credentials, and I reply as tersely as the written word allows that I worked in the BBC writing for Jackanory and edited Reader's Digest. A Google or phone call would expose my dishonesty, but as Dino bluntly reassured me when I shared my qualms of conscience, "Oh, chill, they won't bother their posh holes checking up on you. I won't worry about anything till it happens. I need the money. Simple as that." The result of Dino's no-holds-barred online ad has been unbelievable. I'm impressed by how magnanimous Dino is. He has offered his support in this meet and greet I've organised tonight. Milo has given us his best room, well away from the main bar area. As Black ABBA attract a lively group of fans, things can get rather loud and raucous. Dino wears a blazer, sober tie, and grey slacks. He's taking his role as co-administrator most seriously. We've 2 tables and a laptop at the ready. A pop-up poster display reads, Jogger Fanciers. Dino and I busy ourselves shuffling the tacky literature I've divvied up. It's all vague, cut and paste crap. This is because I'm vague on exactly what the hell I'm asking people to part with €60 for. It's one thing using the hackneyed and oft misquoted guideline, if you build it, they will come. An entirely different thing using my chancer's approach, i.e., if you make it up as you go along, maybe they'll come. I've cobbled together a make-do bundle of shite goodie bag. There's a pen with I fancy joggers embossed, a T-shirt in small size only, with the words "Jog On," a notebook so badly bound that Hansel and Gretel could use it to leave a paper trail for rescuers. I've thrown in a tracker bar. I'm not sure that the people at Mars will approve of this marketing tactic. Hopefully any evidence will be eaten. The pièce de résistance. Every fancier gets a signed copy of Jim Fix's The Complete Book of Running. I got lucky. Someone on eBay had a job lot of 175 copies. I signed my own name under Jim's in a pathetic attempt to curry credibility. 15 minutes in, our first potential jogger fancier arrives. She is wearing a white mac and a jaunty felt hat. She shakes the rain off her umbrella. The lady is accompanied by a schoolgirl with buck teeth and a vacant face garnished with colourful butterfly hair slides. Dino and I rise to greet her. She looks around. Golly, are we the only ones here? I grin genially and lie. Good evening, madam. There were one or two folks in earlier who are now happily involved. Happily involved? I almost gag on my own smarm. Dino is at his most chivalrous. Please, madam, allow me to take your coat. The lady accepts graciously with a, "Crikey, it's very rainy out there. Mind if I help myself to a cocktail sausage?" "That's what they're there for, madam," I say with a proprietary hand swoosh. I take in her sartorial elegance. Silky blouse, no-nonsense, dark pleated front pants, petite brogues, and a marine-style jacket. A classic Tag Heuer glints as she proffers her hand. A good handshake. Pretty face, if a bit life-weary. "You're Jerry. I'm the lady from Booterstown." "Ah, yes, Mrs. Shannon Earlhose, isn't it? Thank you for coming." "Well, sir, I'm most impressed. May I say jogger fancying is long overdue. Personally, I have, an urge to, well, chase after joggers." She is a braying laugh. Sexy, though. Very Joanna Lumley. I trowel on the charm. "I think your hat most elegant." I'm getting the feeling she'd laugh at anything. "It's Borsellino." For an instant, I picture us shagging our guts out while she goes. It was a combination of that laugh and the way she rolled Borsellino that led me astray. "Oops, I'm forgetting my manners. Who is this fine lady?" I smile disingenuously. Shannon answers while spitting sausage at me, which we both pretend not to notice. "This is Clara. She's 9. Aren't you, sweetheart?" If Buckteeth could smile sheepishly, this child takes the cake. I notice a gaunt, shifty-looking character in a shell suit. He scans the room. Dino greets him. "Hoya, I've driven up from Carlo. Is this where they're having the thing all about joggers and all that? Oi, Malachy, them sausages I smell, mighty fucking mighty." "So, Shannon, you wish to become a jogger fancier? Please take a seat." "Now, as Max Bygrave's catchphrase used to go, I want to tell you a story." She stops me. He's dead, you know." "Who is?" "Max Bygraves. He died this month. Good innings, though. 89 years of age." "Really?" She nods, then nibbles more cocktail sausage. I'm not sure what to say, but find myself saying, "Well then, we're just going to have to let bygraves be bygones." Gasps Shannon, then gushingly adds, "Oh, Jerry, we're going to have such a good time on a misty evening with a tot of rum, eh? Logging the movements of the lesser grey-spotted joggers." "Well, we've no option. They've eaten all the red ones." I give a wink. "Jerry, you're on fire. Clara, the man is funny, isn't he?" Bugs Bunny doesn't acknowledge as she's engrossed in Nintendo land. "Okay, mister, how much and where do I sign?" €60 for the yearly membership, and our inaugural meeting is here next week at 7 p.m. Friday. I think my husband Colin has... No, that's on Thursday. Yup, that's on Thursday. Friday. Yeah, that works for me. Fantastic. Oh, and wear your jogging gear as we'll be doing field work. Shannon left-handedly scrawls on a jogger fancier membership form. In a flash, she hands me 3 crisp €20 notes. My mind goes chit-ching. She makes eye contact. "Oh, Jerry, Just one more thing. How do I know I'll ever see you or my 60 wickle euro ever again? I stroke my chin and assume a miserish pose. Well, madame, you don't, but you're right. Sometimes 21 is too young an age to invest. You sly fox. I can assure you I'm a long ways from 21. And your 60 euro, I add. Caveat emptor. Here, Shannon, take a goodie bag. It's handed to Clara with the proviso she says, thank you. Clara is hoisted out. I hear the child protest as they make their way down the hall.
Mammy, it's a crap notebook. The pages are all falling out.
The only sympathy she receives is... I join Dino and Malachi. Malachi winks at me and I wink back, and then he overdoes it by winking again. I'm just mulling over whether to keep playing Tinky Winky when it dawns on me that it's a nervous twitch. Dino introduces me to Malachi, who's driven up from Carlo. Malachi, that's a hell of a distance to come in this weather.
That is no fucking bother, not a fucking bother, no fucking bother at all.
It's a good 60 miles or so, Malachi. Would you like a coffee? He sniffs the air whilst winking, as if he can't see the coffee which is in front of him.
Aye, go on, sir, I'll take a fucking coffee off you. No fucking sugar, please. Fuck.
Malachi uses the word fuck like other people breathe. Did we speak on the phone, Malachi? There's a pause while he thinks and winks and slurps his coffee, minus fucking sugar.
Fuck no, we fucking didn't. I saw your fucking ad in the fucking paper and you replied to me fucking email.
I pitch. Basically, we're going to be logging all things joggers. Our annual membership is 60 euro.
Fucking cheap at the price. I'll take 6 so.
6? Are you sure?
Aye. You see, there's 5 more of the lads down home, like, and they're into fucking jogging too. Fucking like.
He reaches in his shell suit and flourishes a wad of greasy 50 euro notes.
That's 360 fucking notes, so 'tis. Now we're fucking sucking diesel. When do we start, boss?
I place his money by the laptop as Malachi signs up. Next week at 7 bells, right here, Malachi.
Call me Malk.
I look forward to meeting your fellow jogger fanciers too, Malk. I shake his big oily hand. I notice Dino engaging 3 new people. Man, 420 euro.
Would you like to see my fucking jogger?
Sorry, Malachi, Malk.
Jerry, do you want to see my fucking jogger? She's outside, so she is.
He winks. I automatically return the wink, whilst mentally berating myself for doing so. Have you a jogger with you?
Yeah, a big fucker. I've brought her up with me. She's outside. She's a bit muddy like.
Ah, Malk, bring her in. She'll catch a cold. You should have said.
I can't bring her in.
Why not? Invite her up and we'll get a coffee into her.
I can't. She's tied to the fucking roof of the fucking car.
My jaw drops.
'Tis a Bluebird model. She'll even do marathons. You'll not find many fucking babies like that.
I'm bamboozled.
Come here to the window. That's her, below on the fucking street.
I'm in fear of being party to some macabre crime. Peering out, I see a big pearl beige mucky Mercedes with a pram strapped to the roof rack. Malk, where's the jogger? Oh, I can only see a stroller thingy. Malk does something unnerving. He swivels his head slowly, a cross between an owl and the exorcist. The winking goes into overdrive.
What the fuck do you call that? Sure, that is a fucking jogger. That's a fucking jogger!
His voice has gotten louder. Dino and the attendees look over. Uh-oh, we got a clusterfuck. Malk, I'm afraid we've gotten our joggers in a mix. I'm talking runner joggers, you're talking rolling ones. He isn't amused. His face scrunches furiously. Malk begins shouting.
Oh, for fuck's sake, and I after driving me fucking bollocks off in a fucking monsoon. For this?
Take it easy, Malk.
Don't fucking Malk me, boy!
He rasps the word boy with demonic zeal.
Do you know what I'm fucking tempted to do to you, boy?
Malachi, it's a genuine misunderstanding. I'm truly sorry. I'll refund your money. I don't need to. He dashes across the room and grabs his 360 euro like it's the last chopper out of Saigon.
Jesus, I should fucking lash you down alongside me fucking jogger.
He's absolutely livid. He's winking manically and waving his greasy wad. Dino, ever the military man, takes control. Excuse me, sir. Is there a problem? Dino positions himself between us. I'm trying to talk my way out of it, but I've gone scaredy gawk. Is the sound coming from my suddenly dry throat. Malachi lunges at me. You dirty con man! Dino forces him back. Please don't attack my colleague, sir. What's wrong? I'll tell you what's fucking wrong, mister. Your lily-livered friend with the paper arsehole is a fucking chancer. Malachi appears intent on killing me. I can barely walk, I've got such a case of the giblies. To add insult to humiliation, I hear my own disembodied high-octave voice bleating,
Dino, will I call security?
You'd better call fucking casualty, you chicken shit boy.
Dino attempts calm. Obviously it's a misunderstanding, Malachi. Jerry is a very honest man. Mad Malk settles a bit. The winks become less frenetic. Dino continues. You've got your money now. Can you please leave? Malachi makes a move for his pocket. In a flash, Dino pinions Malachi's arm with a killer line. Whatever you're reaching for better be a sandwich, because you're going to have to eat it. For the first time, Malachi's face betrays pucker factor.
Will you please let fucking go? I was only getting me fucking car keys, you fucking donkey, you.
Dino takes a step back. You'd better leave now, as you have offended my family and the Shaolin Temple. This is too much for Malachi's brain.
What?
You've exhausted me patience. Would you prefer I rain down a fucking godly firestorm on you, or turn your head into a canoe? Bellows Dino. Defeated, Malachi slinks out the door, winking whilst swivelling his head back and forth. He attempts bravado.
You fucking guys in Dublin, you're all cracked. Alpha and Omega at me fucking hole.
Sassy rhetoric, but it's obvious he's bugging out.
If you're going to take off, then you'd better do it supersonic.
I croak, once Malachi is well out of earshot. Dino and I move to reassure the other attendees. I pat Dino on the back, but it's more of a leaning on him for support, as I'm jelly-legged. Cheers, mate. I can't take the credit. That's Hollywoodese crap I'd constantly hear when working in the DVD shop. Everyone starts clapping, more for Dino than myself. Still, they've stayed. Yippee! I stagger over to introduce myself. Standing together are a middle-aged man and a designer stubble leather jacket guy in his 30s. Alone, but for a cell phone, is a lady of a certain age. Her complexion is a mixture of cottage cheese, wrinkles, and wattle. She has a nose like a snub-nosed pistol. I suspect eccentricity, as she wears a full-sized plastic clock around her neck. Another shell suit, not as manky as Malachi's, which was akin to carpet. Terminating her call with the words,
You can go and hang for that sort of money.
She half raises her arm in salutation, the greeting you'd give an alien or American Indian, the type of salute Hitler used to make when tired of the full-arm extension.
Waffoon!
I don't quite hear her on account of the room noise. Pardon?
Waffoon! 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 I'm Geraldine Waffoon!
She snaps impatiently. I extend my hand, but she does the Hitler thing again, only using her other arm.
We spoke on the phone. Those joggers need monitoring.
I recall you live in beautiful Hoth. Am I right? She ignores me and adds another unnecessary.
I'm Geraldine Waffoon.
And I think to myself, Earl Hoses and Waffoons. What a wonderful world. Would you like a sausage, Geraldine?
No, I don't eat them old cock banana. The fine fighting man said €60. I'm Geraldine Waffoon.
That's correct. €60 for a year's membership, covering all aspects of joggers and jogging.
Alpha Omega, your ad said. I'm Geraldine Waffoon.
Our conversation is interrupted by an alarm bell. I look around confused, but realised it's Geraldine, the walking time bomb. She repeatedly slaps down on the top of her clock, but it's ringing for Ireland.
Beat the clock, you gotta beat the clock. Beat the bloody clock.
She barks. I give it a half-hearted punch, which does the trick. Geraldine seems satisfied.
There are 14 different types of nose. Which one is yours?
I don't get time to react.
You've a nice nose. Here's your €60.
Great. We'll see you here next Friday at 7.
I'd say your nose is a Roman one. It has a sloping tip and that shows ambition.
Well, I have strong ambitions for the jogger fanciers. I titter. She smiles. She signs the membership form in triplicate. I suspect she's a screwball.
Notice anything about me clock?
She chirps. That it has a healthy set of bells?
'Tis an Omega.
Now she's cackling and coughing and pointing at the trademark.
Omega! Omega! It told me it was time to answer your ad. 'Cause it wanted to meet Alpha. I'm Geraldine Wafoon.
A timely reminder, one might say. Eh, Geraldine?
You're missing the point. 'Tis a bloody Omega,
she splutters. Can I get you some water?
Nah, don't bother me with the pea cola. I've a sucky sweet. I'm Geraldine Wafoon.
Before she leaves, she insists on shaking Dino's hand, spiritedly, telling him she is proud that there are still some fighting men left.
Who's the old dear with a sand crab in her drawers?
Yawns a young Dublin dude in the leather jacket. His accent is gutter Dublin. Geraldine Wafoon, and if you join our merry crew, she'll remind you of that frequently. The young man extends his hand.
Darren, and this is David, me life and sexual partner.
David is early 60s, salt and pepper hair, brown cords, checked shirt, wax jacket, gumboots. Farmer? He has a shrill, old English accent.
Do you think Darren looks like George Michael?
I fail to see any resemblance, but play along. Indeed, David. Yeah, I see. Like when he was in his faith phase. Darren lifts up his jacket collar and gives good face.
Fair fucking play to you, mate. Loads of folks say that, so they do.
He hip thrusts and warbles.
Fight, the fight, the fight. Ah!
God, he's magnificent, isn't he, lads?
We nod like good puppies. More people in the room. 3 studenty females, a black man and a wheelchair wacko. Dino intercepts them. I'm beginning to appreciate not only what a good friend, but asset he is in Operation Jogger Fancier. Darren's dub accent resounds.
Jesus, if that fucking toe rag that was in here earlier spoke to me like he did to yours, I'd kick his ass through his mouth.
David gazes lovingly at Darren and tenderly coos.
Steady, my sweet stallion. Steady.
Jesus, when I get home I'll earn me rent, so I will.
Both of them grin knowingly.
There is a world of meaning to be gained from joggers, and many scientific, mathematical, and arguably spiritual levels of insight too.
David's tone is nasal, and his delivery professional. I mentally christen him Einstein. So, gentlemen, are you interested in joining? David nudges me playfully.
My good fellow, you're pushing an open door. Your colleague already signed us up.
Fantastic. In that case, gentlemen, a fancying we will go.
A riding like Zorro we're going to go now, mister,
says Darren, adding,
oh, your friend sold us one of those spanking machine yokes too. Bleeding deadly.
You know, it literally has a setting that, if one's not careful, will whip one's balls to cream,
drones Einstein.
I'd better be careful, so, David. It doesn't make me redundant. Maybe I'll sabotage it.
Little fear 'twill replace you, sweet stallion,
gushes David. He gives me the creeps and brings to mind Yogg's garlic breath, wittering,
wish, 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 my lion.
Although irked at Dino's cross-selling, I determine not to make a fuss. After all, were it not for him, chances are I'd be having breakfast through a straw. Darren and David exit hand in hand. The strains of Black Abba echoed up the staircase.
Friday night, Sandy nights alone, looking out for a place to go.
Dino motions me over. Come here, Jerry. I've loads of new members for you to meet. These lovely girls are in already, aren't yous? The students nod and giggle agreement. The old man in the wheelchair waves an anachronistic walking stick, and the black gent mouths, hello. Time suspends. I muse on the humanity, wary of one another. As a species, our ultimate achievement will be when we can all be above suspicion. Now, that seems an impossible dream. It's a dream worth dreaming. As I see those people, I'm aware of a mutual sizing up, both active and subconscious. A beautiful stranger can be an unwise choice, the biggest letdown. Alternatively, a plain John or Jane can be a person of great integrity and worth. Our eyes, like good actors, can fool us. Constantly our circuitry whirs and probes. Brain archives are interrogated for confirmation of friend or foe. Personal radars are on red alert, unbeknownst to ourselves. Threats, commonalities, attractiveness, or repulsions are all sought, assessed, and reported in nanoseconds. Finally, a decision computes. A. I like, am attracted to, and can trust. B. I dislike, don't find attractive, don't trust. Either decision is underpinned with the penultimate in mutual human assessment. Do I need to take this person seriously? It's a reliable collision avoidance system, but not infallible. We take chances on connectivity throughout our lives. So, life's lotto of relationships loops on. Hiya, says a fresh brace-face. I'm Helena. Hello, I'm Jerry, founder of Jogger Fanciers International. I can't believe I just said that. Delighted to meet you, Jerry. This is Sheila. She's from Australia. How aboriginal. I mean, original? I'm blanked. Circa's from Waterford. Helena gulps a breath. And we're all from UCD. Yay! They raise their arms and do a jerky head movement and jump around. Dino quips. I see you've won some student bodies. Everybody laughs out loud. I envy his charm. I'm about to launch into my spiel when I'm cut short. It's the Aussie, sexy in an outdoors way. She's not wearing a bra under her t-shirt. I try to avert my eyes as her full boobs jiggle like burglars behind a curtain. Oi, Jerry, Dino said you'd give us a student discount. What do you reckon? I reckon most of what Dino says can be discounted. This time I get a laugh and 3 beautiful eager faces. It's funny, by any man's standards, all 3 are babes in their blue-jeaned prime. But right now, to me, these are someone's daughter. I wonder what Jasmine and Rachel will look like. Will they remember me? Of course, he'll be putting them through college. He'll insist, won't he? Jerry, Sheila waves her hand across my face. Hello, Earth calling. Answer please, any time to salvo. Do we get a discount? Of course, ladies. But only if you do the yay dance again. They dutifully oblige. Their nubile 20-something bodies leap about. Yoo-hoo, bonza! Sheila again, whose energy is infectious. Circa with ginger ringlets pipes up. What discount does we get? I've anticipated this question. €10 off for every student. Yay! I shout and do a dance of my own. I've read it well. 3 disappointed faces. But 50% off, because UCD sent their best babes to me today, and they get the 50% off only if they repeat the yay dance. Helena, Sheila and Circa all go, yay! And do their jerky dance. Good on you, Jerry. Fair dinkum. We'll tell all our friends. She opens her purse. Little Hello Kitty and colourful beaded purses are fumbled from pockets, and lipstick and makeup cluttered arm bags. Sheila's darling hands seek out the euro. Those same hands a father held, or a mother washed, or both of them viewed with delight as kindergarten handprints. A father who grabs a fleeting moment from his desk job to wonder at Sheila's whereabouts. Possibly under some down-under nightscape right now, her mother is on a porch pining for her daughter. Sheila's hands daintily persist with the search. The same hands that held a dolly, then a mobile phone, then a backpack, produced a passport or ID. Girls, girls, girls! Leave it at €20 each. Go on, mate. €30 is 50%. Yeah, but you guys are early birds. They leap about excitedly and hug me. I feel wanted. The black man is a handsome Denzel Washington lookalike. Sheila and Sorka secret smile whilst glancing admiringly at the man who introduces himself as Leroy Loveberry. What a name! What a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty fine man, until he opens his mouth. Leroy has that endearing speech disorder where he can't distinguish his R from his W.
Excuse me, sir. I'm here regarding the winning program.
His accent is American. It's rich and respectful. That's what I like about the Yankees. They offer everybody respect, addressing them as sir and ma'am, and it's only when you fail to reciprocate that they nuke your ass. Another mental christening. Woad Wunner. I like him instantly. Leroy, thank you for coming here tonight, sir. Tell me about yourself.
Well, Joey, I'm originally from South Carolina and came over to a beautiful country 5 years back for the love of an Irish girl who, after very much romance, is now Mrs. Loveberry.
Welcome to the family, Leroy. He flashes a perfect smile. Leroy takes care of himself. His suit is sharp, his shoes highly polished, and I get the faintest waft of Paco Rabanne.
Joey, if I do the dance like them college chicks do, Do I get a discount?
No, but you get to be our first Irish African-American jogger fancier. You look to me like a man of means. What line of business are you in?
Oh, Jerry, I do business. I do business.
I decide against a request for clarification. So, you know what we are trying to achieve here at Jogger Fanciers International? Leroy rubs his chin. His nails are manicured. Whatever
Business.
this boy is involved in must be good.
Yeah, Jerry, you was doing the Alpha and Omega, right? Tracking winners and what gear is in fashion and all.
Precisely, Leroy. We are gonna log the jog. Are you up for it?
Damn right. Who do I whack this check out to?
Jerry Robertson. He whips out a titanium Mont Blanc. It's not a pen, it's a statement. As he swishes calligraphic, I wonder if he's a famous rapper or actor. I reckon he wipes his butt with €60, with a cheeky,
Okay, bro. See y'all next week. Keep on walking in the free world.
he heads off. I see the wheelchair trundling out too. I make to introduce myself, but Dino tells me it's sorted. Malcolm has become our first disabled fancier. Just as I high-five Dino celebrating €420 and 9 members, I spot 3 tough-looking men, real wankers who fancy themselves as coming straight out of Compton. How do you know when someone has a few drinks too many, but are right of centre of sobriety?
You just know.
Dino firmly advises.
Stay there. Munch your sausage while I handle it.
Dino blocks their way. Good evening, gentlemen. I'm sorry, but we're all booked up. The 3 amigos don't look happy. In Hollywood parlance, their looks would be described as unconventional. This lot are not the good, the bad, just the ugly. The tallest man has bumhugger jeans with a newly minted piss stain unashamedly emblazoned across the crotch. They're all hoofed in work boots. The tall man's buddy sneers through forked yellow teeth. He's a real buff ugly. The most I could say about amigo number 3 is he has an interesting forehead. He's a medical mystery with a nose like a tomahawk, crushed down on big coffee cooler lips. The big guy grunts at Dino. So you let cute students, blacks and a crip on wheels join yous, but not 3 hard-working plumbers, eh? Dino stands his ground.
Gentlemen, we were focused on numbers tonight, and our quota has been met, so...
You're as focused as a fart. Give us an L sausage, barks the spokesman. His 2 ugly sisters are in hysterics. What is it anyways, mister? Ventures Conehead. Dino masterfully explains. Gentlemen, we are the Irish branch of Jogger Fanciers. White man speaking with forked teeth butts in. We see joggers all the time. We'd often be munching our burgers and chippies in the van, you know, like by the canal. And I tell you, we love the way lycra, bubble asses. Isn't that what we call them, Pat? The boss man nods. Thank you, gentlemen, but you misunderstand our organisation's aims. Dino doesn't seem to have a nerve in his body. I'm already scouting for emergency exits. Hey, wank weasel, what are you looking at? It's Conehead, waxing gutter prick. My scalp is only beginning to heal from the Gaucho brothers, and I don't welcome my stitches being man-danced. In a quavering cry, I retaliate with a weak, I don't know, but it's looking back. Dino intervenes. Now we don't want trouble, do we, gentlemen? I'm thinking, where are the lines, Dino? The Hollywood comeback lines. I feign nonchalance with a cocktail sausage, but my hands are trembling and the bloody thing drops on the floor. Everybody laughs. Yellow teeth jeers. Lads, I've heard of Braveheart, but Chickenheart is a new one on me. More vocal mirth, including Judas Doherty. The boss man goes quack, 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 and flaps imaginary wings. Again, flashbacks to Tenerife. I've post-traumatic turkey disorder. The boss man stands tall. Anyway, price-wise, what would you do for a Donegal man? Add on 20%, quips Dino. Boss man isn't impressed. Listen, Donegal ladyboy, do you want to have sex? Dino's face is serious. Boss man is flummoxed. It's a simple question. Do you want to have sex with me? Now. I brace myself for flying chairs. Hesitantly, boss man answers. No. Dino adds. Is that your final answer? Yellow teeth play whispers. Can he phone a friend? Everybody cracks up. Situation diffused. Dino Doherty, king of the world. I chip in my 2 cents. Chicken-flavoured sausage, anyone? All 3 rush me. Get out of the way, old chicken fart, snaps the homophobic boss. I manhandled aside.
We was only taking the piss,
sneers Fork Teeth. Conehead doesn't enter the bonhomie, just stuffs his face and bangs a text with his Kentucky Fried digits. All three reek of alcohol, and manage to multitask sausage guzzling, merriment, and farting. Eventually they leave. Rather chillingly, Conehead eyeballs me and makes a throat-slitting gesture. Dino has his arm around me. You all right, chicken heart? Apart from the mess in me pants, I'm fine.
No, Jerry. Remember, be virile, be a man. Stop worrying. Worry is like a rocking chair. Gives you something to do, gets you nowhere.
Excuse me, gentlemen, is this where I sign up for Jogger Fancy and Alpha and Omega? It's an elderly gentleman. He deftly removes a flat cap. God, that's a great idea all the same, though, fellas. Jogger Fancying. Where did you think that one up? His accent is
Dublin in the rare old times.
Lads, fair play to yous. Joggers need to be monitored. Do yous know why? No, sir. Enlighten us. I'm Jerry, the founder of Jogger Fanciers, and this is my assistant Dino. Coffee? Sure, a muggo is always welcome. I'm Sean Hogan. Pleased to meet you, Sean. And why should we be jogger alert? We're most interested. Well, you see, joggers aren't necessarily always what they seem. For instance, one day I saw him licking a lamppost, down on his knees like, licking the yoke, licking away he was. Another time, in the middle of nowhere, I was driving by a forested area and I spied this young jogger. She'd all the gear, expansive runners, leggings, a high-visibility jacket, designer headphones, etc. Lads, she was gaping up at a tree, jogging on the spot, real bored like. And the strangest thing, the fucking tree, if you's pardon me French, was on fire. A real Moses job, so 'twas. Dino and myself are chuckling while the old geezer rambles. Another time, I see two joggers in all the regalia, but they were smoking cigarettes, puffing away like. Kinda defeats the purpose, really, muses Dino. It doesn't do it, so. It doesn't do it. But come here till I tell you. Once I spied a jogger, and didn't she have a boxer with her? Not like George Foreman, but a canine. And the mangy mutt's long fat tongue was lolling out the side of a ferocious head. Best of all, once I saw two joggers, and didn't they each have a lamb draped across their shoulders? I'm telling yous, lads, they're a weird lot. I reckon they're aliens messing with global warming, spying for a distant galaxy. I spent a lot of time thinking about joggers' movements, lads. Just need to collate the data, feed it into a supercomputer. Old sausages catching in me dentures. You see, the data might reveal the secrets of the universe. Well, next Friday at 7, we'll boldly go where no man has gone before. It's €60 for a year's membership. Are you in? Oh, I'm in. I'm in, lads. Have no fear. Sean is here. He shows us the money. Sean saunters out humming, Me and me shadow. He's taken 4 goodie bags. Good. I need rid of them. He's a bit of a philosopher, isn't he? A real Socrates, says Dino, supping his coffee. Dino? That's brilliant. Socrates. I've been thinking up nicknames all afternoon. Let me see. So far, I've Einstein and Woadwunner. Who are they? Yawns Dino as he touches screens. The black guy is Woadwunner because of his speech impediment. Japers, if that dude doesn't get laid through this jogger lark, I'm Mother Teresa. He doesn't want to, Dino. He's married. Sweet. A text from Lorraine. Who's your daddy? Oh, and one from Fort Knox Snickers. A little Scottish boogie-woogie at the back of my mind. As he sings, he suggestively punk-jerks his hips. His face turns Benny Hill lecherous. I feel compelled to bash him with the sausage tray. Who's Einstein? The pederast with the boy from Wham? The old geezer with the limited edition green check shirt. How did you know it's limited edition? Well, put it this way. It'll be a limited edition when George Michael claws it off his back tonight. I'd say George Michael's cock will be in limited edition too. Well, it'll be in limited condition. Why did you bar the 3 filthy plumbers at hello? The Blues Brothers.
I did some labelling of me own.
Weren't there only 2 Blues Brothers?
True, but the pin-headed cone guy doesn't count. He's a few fries short of a Happy Meal. I spotted him earlier in a white van.
Hardly a reason to refuse €180.
Dear boy. Corporal Doherty denied the mucker's entry, not because of the white van. Spread across the dashboard was dastardly bullion.
What?
The sun, crisp bags, styrofoam cups, burger boxes. Wouldn't be surprised if Amelia Earhart were in there somewhere.
What does that tell me?
No discipline. Should they come a-knocking, they wouldn't be getting in.
Dino, I made an enemy of the cone-headed guy. He was looking daggers at me.
Yeah, he didn't like you dissing him out in front of his mates. Still, if that jingle brains comes near you, simply holler.
And what'll you do?
I'll turn his ghoulies into a calfskin fiddle. Right, Dino. Let's resume. Let's recap.
I make it €480, a show of 14, of which 10 are now jogger fanciers.
Remember, you haven't even touched social media yet.
That's what I love about you, Dino. You sell enthusiasm. Pint?
I thought you'd never ask. Sore.
Dino and I finish our drinks.
Paxman, Lorraine, Letterman, Ellen. That's the plan, Dino.
Do you honestly believe jogger chasing is gonna land you a guest slot on those mega talk shows?
It's got to,
or I'm goosed. We're outside the Donnybrook apartment. I reach for my key, but the door swings open. It's her, the blonde Bob who sped off in the car with Mr. Loverman. Shabba!
Good evening, gentlemen. I am Kinky Gabor,
she drawls in husky Eastern European.
I recently occupy apartment G.
I choke on my reply. Hello, Kinky. I'm Jerry. This is Dino, and we're in apartment B for many years. Welcome to the house. She studies me momentarily.
I know you.
No, I don't think so. Kinky. How could he forget meeting a lady as fine as you? Smarms Dino. She blanks him and scrutinizes me.
Never mind. I know you now, eh?
Where's that accent from? I ask.
Hungary.
Oh, like Zaza Gabor. I laugh. She doesn't.
No, I am Kinky. Excuse me, I am going out for a jog.
And with that, her elegant rack disappears. Dino's face says it all. I told you she was gorgeous. No, mate, you told me, and I quote, "A nice piece of ass has moved into apartment G."
Funny, she seemed to recognize you.
Yeah, well, is my response. Now, so you got through the first 4 chapters. I certainly hope you enjoyed it. And if you enjoyed it enough to purchase it, the links are below. You can get it on Amazon Kindle. And you can also get, of course, The Man Who Chased Joggers on audible.com as an audiobook. You'd need it really on a road trip, because I think there's 12 or 16 hours of audio in it. Maybe more, maybe less. But if you're quick enough and you like the audiobook aspect, which you've just heard the first 4 chapters of, I may still have some promo codes. So just let me know, markmanningauthor@gmail.com if you want them, and that allows you listen to the entire book for free. On the condition that I have them left, of course. So anyway, thanks for coming this far with me, and I hope to see you again. Stay in touch. Take care.